All right. It's the CARESNONE Be Dope Podcast. I am your host, Chris CARESNONE, and I got a very, very special guest today. None other than the two-time, not one time, two-time American Ninja Warrior, CARESNONE ambassador.
Okay.
New gym owner. And just official dope man, Tavares Chambliss, everybody. Tavares Chambliss. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good, brother. I like the intro. The intro.
Hey, it's the real shit, though.
It get better every time.
Well, and to be honest, that's just lowballing who you are. You know, just on some energy shit. You just more than your title is. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is. At the end of the day, even a bum, you still somebody.
Right.
You might have to find your little niche or whatever to do something, but you're still somebody.
Still somebody, baby.
So I'm glad you're here, man. We can talk about a lot, man. Let's talk about what we was just talking about.
Okay. Yeah. I was originally uncomfortable chiefing on camera. First,
why was that?
Because right now I feel like eyes are always on me, but I feel like right now more eyes are on me than I guess usual, or right now, I'm trying to get people to join my fitness movement, to join my gym. So, the first thought was like, there's probably gonna be some people who turn their nose up to smoking marijuana, and then because of that, automatically just don't even pay no attention to what else I'm doing. But then my second mind was like, cares none, in the sense where if those not the type of people I want around me anyway. If because I'm doing something that's legal that that you might not like, because people have problems with it before, and that'll just make you not decide to not even look at anything else good that I'm possibly doing, then I don't want you around me anyway.
Right, I don't even want you around.
Yeah.
The first thing that comes to my mind when we talk about that is abundance mindset. Mm-hmm. So like listen, and let's be honest. There might be somebody who be like, oh, I can't be around a nigga who smoke weed, right?
Right.
But you know in your heart you doing the right thing. You know this ain't hurting nobody. The world is coming to realize it ain't hurting nobody. As a matter of fact, it's literally only helping motherfuckers.
Right.
I know if you deal with any kind of stress, it's a chill out. It makes things better. It makes you sleep better. Sex is better. Everything is better on weed. If you ask me, food tastes crazy. It's almost too good.
It's plenty. Yeah, there's too many benefits.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So like you said, okay, so I lose 3, but you'll gain 6. Now what if, he smokes? Now you might get those.
Right.
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 I had a situation. Somebody called me out for using the word nigga in all my shit. And it was a white woman who told me this. Mm-hmm. She goes, I love your content, but maybe you should not use the N-word because you can come off as uneducated or something. And for a split second, I gave that some thought. Because I'm like, what if I'm like, but just like you said, T, if you going to hear what my context is, you going to see what I'm about, know what I'm about. Mm-hmm. Or even in that video, let's say you don't know who I am. You just come across this video and I don't want you to fuck with you.
Yeah.
Because context is everything. Let me ask you this. Now, this is a tough question.
Okay.
When somebody who is not black says nigga, mm-hmm. What are your thoughts all around?
Well, first, it almost depends on who it is, because I don't try to judge people based off their color. And it's a word. It don't really do much for me. I mean, because I feel like I've had white people around me say it where the type of person they are, that they don't even realize they said it. It's like us saying it.
Like how we say it.
You know what I'm saying?
You can tell they grew up around.
And I know them like that where you know what I'm saying? It's like, not that I'm like, oh, you have the okay to say it, but they also the type they weren't asking for the okay to say it.
Because they know that's how I talk.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
And then I've had other ones say it around me where they was kind of testing it. They want to say it. They hear me saying it, but they still not comfortable saying it. Don't say it then. That's how I feel. I agree. If it's like you have to think about it before you say it, don't say it. You know what I'm saying? Because it comes off like that. You can hear that hesitation in it,
Yeah,
or
you
that
can feel
them
that
kind of
shit.
testing. Can I say it around you? You know, and you know, I don't know.
Now, I 100% agree. What about Hispanics saying it? I feel like they get the pass, but they not technically what you, right? But I feel like I never felt when Hispanics say it, I feel like I don't feel nearly as bad or the weird about the word.
When somebody white say it.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But even me though, and that's me saying that, I first of all, like, nigga, it's a word.
And like how you using it? Are you calling me a nigga? We might have a problem. No, but if you just saying, you know, hey, oh man, my nigga, this, you know, all this, you know, I know a dude who said talking about his other white friends, like this nigga, you know, and like, you know, it'd be like a little, like I notice it, but it don't bother me.
Right.
You know,
and like you say, you just don't judge. Like, can't you feel the context in what niggas is saying?
like the energy behind it.
Yeah, like, is you trying to hurt me, or this is who you know?
Right.
That's what I be on, man. I'm just, you know what? Shout out to today. I told you earlier today. So I've been running, and I was getting close to. I don't know if anybody who's listening or watching this don't know, but I was getting close. I was like 8 minutes and like 40 seconds in my mile time, and which is vicious for me, like really good for me. And I'm like, man, I'm feeling good about it. I'm feeling accomplished. I put it on, Facebook.
Yeah.
And somebody who I used to hoop with, cool cat, really wise person, a little older, definitely a great shit talker on the court. He commented, if you hit 8, I'll buy you a steak dinner.
Right.
So I'm like, bet, right? So
and you was at what at the time when he said this?
Like 8:46 or something.
Okay.
So it was, and
how long ago was that?
Month and a half tops.
Okay, cool.
Month and a half tops. So then he said that shit, and just I'm not gonna say I was gonna try to aim for the 8 anyway. That's why I kept saying I'm really close to the 8s. I would be lying if I said just that little bit of him saying that and offering that didn't give me a little extra.
Yeah.
You know
something to work for.
Even if he didn't pay up or nothing, just like, oh, I did it still, motherfucker.
Having that fuel. Yeah, right.
And so then I did that shit. I cracked the 7s, and I posted it, and I tagged him and said, hey, I got you, nigga.
What's good?
He goes, oh, that's what's up. I'm proud of you. Where we going?
Yeah.
And then like I actually was gonna be on, so I wasn't even gonna go through with it. And then he was like, then he hit me up in the DMs like, no, nigga, we finna do this. Here's my number. Call me. Where you want to go? This I know about this place. So he was serious. I'm like, bet. So today was the day we went out. He brought his dope wife out. His name's Lamar, and he's an accountant. So he's got his money right, doing really well in life. Clearly, you taking niggas out to Smith and Walensky's. That's where we went, nigga. I had a bone-in ribeye. Like, it was, I don't know, 15 ounce something with crab sauce on top, nigga. We had all kind of apps. I don't drink, but I bet you if I was drinking, he would have been cool with it. So, I mean, the dinner was no joke, And he was putting me on game with philosophy about how we look at shit, especially as black people. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, and I'm going to speak for myself, but I would imagine a lot of people agree with this, we put ourselves in these fucking boxes. Mm. How you feel about that thought that, like, a lot of times our culture does have a victim's mentality?
For sure. I mean, that's how we raise. That's how we, I feel like that's almost the roots of how we look at things. Like, we were brought over here in a bad, fucked up situation, and look what else is bad still here. And we kind of like, oh, he made it out of this bad situation. So that'd be like a plus. He made it out of this bad situation. It's never just like he made it. He's doing something, so it came out of this bad situation. But that's how,
And we think about that on ourselves.
Yeah, for sure. It's easy to look. It's easy to do that because that's what we was brought up into.
But so what I gathered from the wisdom, mm-hmm. And I told him, because he was like, I got some ideas for CARESNONE, or not ideas, but I'll throw you some game. I know a little about that. I help my buddy do this. I'll just throw you some game, which is another lesson. We'll talk about that. But so I'm like, I'm gonna pick your brain then. Like, I'd be dumb not to. But check this out. My idea of picking, and this is where one of the nuggets he gave me. I've always been like, if somebody knows more than me, shut the fuck up and listen to them. Mm-hmm. That's always been mine. Like, well, I'm not gonna overtalk you. I'm not gonna. I trust that you're the. And he was like, no, ask questions. Like, don't, and I'm thinking I'm being respectful. Think about that. I'm thinking I'm being respectful. I'm just taking it in. I ain't trying to, there was a couple things that I knew that I hadn't been aware of what he was saying, but I'm still just like, man, I'm putting me on, right? Because to me, that's respectful. He goes, I feel what you're saying, but you need to be probing. He thought that I had, at this one point, had I not said, he thought we weren't going to be talking about it had he not brought something up. And he was right. I would have asked some questions, but I think I need to ask more. Because how am I going to really learn? How am I going to know if I don't dig in?
Yeah, you feel like you feel like you be holding back, like you have something you want to ask, and you're just nah.
I would say I didn't even feel like I was holding back. I felt like I was just good, just listening. But he was like, no, the next step is to go get more knowledge, get more information, especially if you trust in the person who's telling you some shit. Ask the question.
Yeah.
Even if he goes, I'll be annoying. I'll ask 100 times if I have to.
Yeah.
And what he says, what he's learned dealing with like motherfuckers bigger than him, when somebody knows something and they see that you getting it, they more than happy to help you.
Yeah.
Like for instance, somebody comes to you so you get paid to train people. What if somebody really came to you on some real shit, and you saw him getting it out the mud? And you see him on Facebook. Okay, he's killing it. He ain't come at you about it or nothing, but he's killing it. And he's like, hey, T, man, let me ask you just a few questions about would you do it, or would you be like, you know what? Nah, you got to come to the gymnasium.
It depends on what it is. So someone that's like trying to figure out how to build their gym, or like how to, I'm happy to help. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to come to me, come into the gym. But like some people will call like, oh man, I'm gonna come check your gym out soon. But until then, what should I be eating they try to get a whole like nutrition plan out of you, or a whole at-home workout plan just through conversation. A lot of people try to undervalue fitness because to them, I was just working out. I could do this all by myself, but until I get there, what you think I should be doing? You know what I'm saying? They try to get you with that. No, come in here, you know what I'm saying? I can help you. But like talking like how to build their gym, or like, if I see them doing steps that I had to do to get to where I'm at now, like, yeah, you almost want to tell them, like, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes you don't want to feel like you don't want to cut in and be like, hey, brother, I feel like you should be doing this. And, some people think that they take it the wrong way, like you being cocky or something. But right. I'd be happy to help, especially if they call to ask me some questions, about like, how do I get more clients in, or I'm happy to talk about that stuff all day.
But I guess I was coming more from the aspect of you see they working hard, and they ask you. And I'm not gonna say tell me the exact plan, but what if he's like, hey man, can you tell me the number one thing? What's the most important thing mentally to work on? Would you answer that question without him coming in? Just say, what's the one thing I should work on?
For sure, yeah, for sure. Probably. I mean, I usually most people's first question they gonna get answered by me because that's just who I am.
Right.
It just depends like the follow-up questions. But yeah, mostly, yeah, if you come at me, I'm going to be like, yeah, this.
Now let me ask you this. What if there was a person that you knew be on bullshit? Like, nigga, you ain't about that life. I know you wasting time, even you asking these questions. And then they ask you, wouldn't you be less like you almost don't even want to answer that question because you ain't about to
still do, because what if that's that time that they really are? You don't know what they're going through. Yeah, you might know them, you might have seen them bullshitting every other time, but this might be that.
So you're saying
time.
You equally feel as comfortable giving them the knowledge as the first time?
I probably had them negative thoughts like they probably not gonna do nothing with this, but then
you still go through.
I try not to judge them and then be who I would have been, regardless.
So
of who
I'm glad you said that but you would still do the right thing.
Try. You don't always do,
The point he was making was, if I see you working, and we have this talk, ask the questions, because even if it gets annoying, I'll just tell you I'm done talking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn. And he goes, and more often than not, they'll definitely help. They'll at least lead you in a better direction if they see you. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if they see you getting it. Yeah.
That's the point.
They want to help you. Yeah,
it.
if they see you doing your thing, they want. Yeah, it's a lot easier to want to help that person, and maybe even longer than you planned on it.
Right.
When you think they're gonna really use it.
Right.
Right. Yeah. If you feel like they finna just take all this information and then you're not gonna see them or they're not gonna do nothing with it, Yeah, it makes you less likely to want to keep having that conversation.
But you will because you're a good person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like
it's the repeat ones. Yeah, like there's like a few people. There's few people, and one of the girls know who she is because when she hit me up, she be laughing about it. Like, yeah, it's me again. Yeah, I know. I said I was gonna come last time. I'm coming, but I found this new diet. What you think about this? Here we go. I had this conversation like twice a year with her. Yeah, for like 3 years.
So I feel like I got a lot of gyms, but one of the biggest gyms I got was even when I thought I was doing like the thing to the most learning situation, like by just shutting up and listening, which it's gonna be it was hard to take that in because I'm thinking, man, I've always said if this person knows more than me, I'm just going to listen to them. Like and I would add, don't get me wrong, ain't like I was asking nothing, but I don't know if I was asking enough questions like, what about this situation? Or what about this? Especially when we're in a situation like I'm here to talk, so let's talk, to probe more, to get. And he was like, listen, at the end of the day, nigga, when it comes to CARESNONE, we talking about CARESNONE as the business. He goes, or your shit, this your baby now. You have to, like, how would you actually treat your baby? Right. It's funny how they call shit like that. Man, it's my baby, right? He goes, that's how you have to think about it. And I said, there's times, it's going to sound weird, that I care more about CARESNONE than me. Which is weird because it's kind of a reflection of who I am. Mm-hmm. But it's like I almost don't want to fuck that up more than fucking up me. Which is dope because which is good for me because I attach CARESNONE to me, so it keeps me accountable. Yeah. But it's weird that it feels like it's its own thing, which it kind of is.
But it's you, brother. This is you. CARESNONE is you.
I know, but I think it's so much bigger than me though. Like it's because like you can take it and make it yours.
Make it, right.
I think and we might have talked about this off the camera. As long as I'm in the active pursuit of the shit that I'm talking about, you're gonna have ups and downs, this life and shit, right? But as long as I'm in the active pursuit of it, then I think that the weight holds validity. But as soon as at least this is I'm just assuming. No one's told me this. I'm just assuming this. But I assume that as soon as if I was to become a lazy fucking negative asshole racist or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Just some terrible guy. Mm-hmm. As soon as that would get out, then motherfuckers like, no, I can't, see, I usually the rest of them, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. At least that's how I take it. Like, if you thought I was out here living just grimy.
Right, but then trying to push something
wouldn't that be fucked up? Like, would you personally respect it?
People wouldn't be behind you like that. Nah, they wouldn't.
Which keeps me, and I believe that, which keeps me more on it now than ever.
Okay.
Because I feel like there's this thing that we got right there that we can grow, but that's why we have to preach that shit we talking.
We gotta live it.
We gotta live it.
Live what you're preaching. Yeah.
And let me ask you this: ain't that like the best way to motivate is to show?
Yeah. Exactly. I told you that's what got me, really interested in it. Like, this stuff aesthetically looked dope at first, but then at the same time, just hanging out with you and watching you really practice the stuff that you were saying. Like, you was really putting it into play and like checking yourself on stuff and keeping yourself accountable. And I'm like, man, he really doing that. And I was like, that's dope. So from there, that's like we talked about it before. It really made me want to start just trying to be on time more and work on that. Because just how serious that was, and then that just led to so much more stuff. And then today I'm late.
I was like, nigga. What? No, but let's go back to that last point you just made. Yeah. I don't know if people know this online yet, because I don't know. I think you were on the pod before the ambassador shit. So what happened? What were you?
No, I wasn't an ambassador then.
Yeah, so in case people don't know, because a lot of people say, oh, what's up with UNT? I get that a lot. What's up with UNT doing that thing? I said, here's exactly what happened. Years ago, I remember seeing you a couple times in your element. Yeah. Just completely owning the situation and something that you was clearly passionate about when you was emceeing. And doing it great, in my opinion, a great job of it.
Thank you.
And I was like, okay, this shit is fun to come to now. But before I don't know if it was always great, but then I'm like, okay, no, Adobe will be popping. That's how I felt. Mm-hmm. especially a T-As that, working. And I just remember just thinking like, that nigga's doing it. The period. I remember feeling it.
Good times.
And another one for me personally was just your confidence in front of all those eyes.
Yeah.
Because I'm a person who's in front of eyes, but it's different when it's, 300 eyeballs right there as opposed to 5 million online, which is still a lot for a lot of people. But them 20 eyeballs is a lot more powerful than to like a million eyeballs. They right there.
Right there. They're not behind the screen.
They're not behind that screen. So if they don't like what you're talking about, you're gonna get the receipt or the receipt of the situation right there.
Right then and there.
Whereas, you might get a comment, but I might not read it right away, and it just don't hit the same.
Right.
And I saw you killing it in that situation. So, and then I remember one day you got a shirt or a hoodie. One of the first releases. Yeah. And thank you, by the way, for supporting one of the early ons. And he was like, oh, I got to have one. And he was just boom, boom. And you one of the first black motherfuckers to fuck with me, too. Hey. I get a few now.
Support black business.
Right. Yeah, real talk. And then, and you got a hoodie. And I was like, that's dope. Because everything was bad. And then I came out with the executive.
Yeah, buddy.
And it was, and for those who don't know.
The quality.
It went up. Yeah. And I remember you hitting me up. You said, hey, man. What's up, this executive? Is it really that? And what I say?
He was like, man, it might cost more, but it's legit.
It's legit.
It's just different material. And I was like, all right, I get one. Still supporting, supporting my brother.
Now, also, did you have thoughts that it might, like, was it iffy?
I think, better material, cool. Like, so I don't know. I just figured, like, better material, whatever. I still was about supporting you. When I got it, though, and I was like, oh, like, it got some weight to it. I mean, it keep you warm different. It sit different.
It sit a little.
It sit different. Like.
And then you made a video that, now, in my eyes, I think I'm a cool motherfucker. I've always just thought I was a cool motherfucker, right? So just the fact that I'm fucking with it, I think it's cool. And then you threw it on and made a video. Mind you, I think that I'm cool. It's been confirmed that other people think that.
Right.
You're right. And you put it on and made it feel you made me feel fly about it. Yeah. And other motherfuckers like, oh, and I was showing motherfuckers like, Dan T did me the good one, and I could tell that wasn't on you weren't just bullshit. It felt like you felt that.
Yeah.
You was like, oh, this, and I'll never forget, you was like, this ain't that middle of the mall shit.
It ain't the middle of the mall shit. Yeah, no, man.
He said, I'll never forget, you was like, this guy she had to fold up, put it to the side. And I was like, oh, I've watched that video maybe 300 times, no joke. And I was like, oh, so he fucks with it, right? Like, and it was cool because, again, I think that this is the nigga that I saw on the stage and shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, he fucks with it. It made too much sense when I was like, I got to ask T if he wants to be part of it going forward. It made too much sense because of how I felt about you 2-3 years prior to that. I had already thought you was on something back in the day, like high school, but I'm talking about like for real doing something.
Yeah.
Not some regular nigga. And listen, I like to help the regular niggas. I was a regular, but I feel mentally I'm not a regular nigga.
Okay.
Do you feel like
no.
Right.
Extraordinary, bro.
Right.
Extraordinary.
Right. Just that little bit extra.
You just feel like there's something more. There's something more.
And I feel like we all have that, but just on my journey, I feel like I'm scratching. I'm getting there, I'm there, if you ask me. So, and it made sense. So I asked him, and he was like, man. So tell him what you told me when I asked you. Well, what were your thoughts?
I mean, I was honored. I was honored. And, I was like, cause I really fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it was first just aesthetic, and then just really watching you live what you was trying, watching, your confidence levels change from what we knew. And you was a really confident dude always, but like, it was not a false sense of confidence, but it was just a different type of confidence.
And it wasn't as.
And then seeing it go to this whole new confidence, and you give yourself all the, like these new laws just to keep yourself accountable and to really practice living by them, man. And just, it was dope. It was really dope. You know what I'm saying? So.
And you was like, damn, thank you. Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm serious, man. Like, I was like, I'm serious. And I think we went out or something like this.
And then the man offered me like a ridiculous amount of money, like if for certain shirts or whatnot getting sold, and I just didn't feel right taking that. And I was like, nah, bro, I can't take that much.
Here's my idea, and again, I don't know shit about business yet. I'm learning all that shit. But just in life, if you want somebody to be a part of something that you give a fuck, it would make sense to me that you would want to make an incentive for them to want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Like, just to some degree.
Hey, I was cool with just the title at first. Ambassador, I was like, oh, shit, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do, but I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, give me some clothes, I'll rock it.
And it just felt, in my opinion, who the fuck am I Bezos? No. But it fucking not even business. In life, if you want somebody to be a part of something, make them want to be a part of something.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, whenever, let's say I become a boss, or I will become a boss of a major CEO, you know, I plan to run it, like, cool. Now, don't get me wrong. If you wild here, wild, and I'll, you know, but, like, I'd rather just be, and, like, give you a reason to want to be part of it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because
but it was already there, you know, just because of how real it felt, how, you know what I'm saying? Just the energy behind it. It was like, there was something that it made me feel. And me being the dude that's, like, normally motivating or entertaining people, for me to be like, oh, man, this is a dude, you know, like, he made me want to, like I told you, I was like, at that time, it made me want to work harder on my shit, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, shit, you was looking up to me, and then I'm looking up to you, like something that meant something. I don't know.
I think your mom had even mentioned something like that, didn't she?
Yeah. She was like, oh man, like you right now you so into what Chris got going on in the movement that he got going on, that you like you really feeling everything he doing, but you don't realize how much he's like feeling everything that you've been doing. And it was like a back and forth type thing. And for a minute, you know, there, I felt like, you know how someone get like a motivational speaker that they listen to every day. Like, you was mine.
I do that shit all the time.
You was mine. And you would always want to send me stuff like, listen to this. Listen, no, I want to
Still do that shit.
It felt more like I want to hear you talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it felt for me. So, like, I liked hearing you talk about it and watching you, you know, do those things. And that made it, you know, it's different hearing it from someone you don't see. Famous or not, for me.
And that's 100%
because
true.
like, famous people don't move me. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care how talented you are. I could watch all that, but you telling me how to do it, or like, that doesn't do nothing for me. But being around someone that I know, kind of grew up around and with, and then seeing them really implement that stuff in their life, that's what was like, you know, it was more real to me. All the other stuff could have been acting. I'm seeing it for real. So
I see the logic.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I heard somewhere once that, like, and this is a great topic, like mentorships and just, you know, coaching and consulting and just being around like-minded individuals. Sometimes in some people's environments, you're just not around that. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe your boys or your family, some people got abusive families and shit. So you just, sometimes you ain't even around anybody who can be on that to learn nothing. Right. So the next best thing would be online, especially now, because the way I'm seeing it is I'm just not surrounded by nobody who's really on that shit. And I feel like there's another level, but who the fuck do I go to?
Right.
For me, I'm like, but I'm like, there's something. And then so let me tell you how YouTube became the best shit on the planet to me. This is a great story for anybody to learn why YouTube University is the place to go. Remember Goo? Will Gibson, Manny's brother? Yeah. So we was in my car.
Goo.
Yeah, we call him Goo, my father. Yeah, Will.
We're going to talk about that later.
So I have a aux cord, but my car's a little old school, so it still got the red and white, like the left and right audio. So I plugged that shit in. This nigga closed something and broke the prongs off inside of the motherfucking. You good, nigga?
Yeah. I'm getting a Snapchat at the same time.
Okay.
I want them to see me doing something important. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I was like,
that boy on the podcast.
Hey.
I'll hit you back in a minute.
No, so the prongs got broke off, and I'm thinking, damn. Because now one, we can listen to music now. But then two, I'm going to have to get that fixed. That's my first thought.
Right.
So I called Best Buy. I'm like, hey, how much y'all fix this for? $150. I'm like, damn.
Oh my.
So he should have been his ass, but he said he was, but you know how motherfuckers be. So I just figured I need my music now. You know, I got no music. Something told me, what if there's an easier way? What if this got to be at $150? I'm like, I don't even know. I might have like barely had that money at the time. Anyways, so I went on YouTube and just said, you know, how to take out the broken prongs and and it came back, how to fix it in 5 minutes. So I'm like, okay, let me click on it. All you had to do, nigga, mind you, Best Buy was gonna charge me $150 for this. $150.
We about to get a jewel.
Oh man, this motherfucker. You take a needle. That's all you gotta do. Take a needle, warm it up with a lighter for about a good 2 minutes, get it hot, like you know, like you can when you can put the thing in there. It's gonna go into the wire. It's going to solder and shut, and then you pull it out. Get $150 they charging niggas for that. and so that saved me.
First time. First time.
No, I think I might have to do 20, but it was like 5 minutes worth of work. So the lesson I learned was, oh shit, I need to be YouTubing everything. Because what else am I jagging money on and shit without at least looking it up? Because what if there's a better way? And that changed my motherfucking life. Because now, and like sometimes you can't always find the answer on YouTube, which is almost impossible. But sometimes you're like, I can't really figure it out. But 9 times out of 10, the answer's on there.
They got something there.
Something. Or they can lead you in a direction, or you know what I'm saying? Something.
Yeah.
And then that got me into the world of like before you go buy something like at Best Buy or anywhere, go look on the marketplace. Yeah. You might get it for way cheaper down the street. You don't got to go Amazon,
I do not use those resources enough. I go to YouTube, I get ADHD. I be all on something else. I see something, I'll click on that. I'm going to go back to what I was trying to do.
Yeah, you always say that.
I be somewhere else like that, bro. I get sidetracked like that. I got to be actually.
Can you work on that? I'm telling you, that's the key. Because what that is, let me tell you why.
He said, can you work? There's true concern.
Let me tell you why. Because that it's like you got, it feels like, listen, I'm going to talk for myself, but that part where you have to sit down like, okay, I got to listen to this shit. That feeling, it's like you gotta find a way to beat that, because there's knowledge behind that feeling.
Yeah,
a lot, like game changing fucking craziness. But it is gonna take some like
discipline. Sit down.
But there's a better word for it, like that resistance.
You gotta fight.
The learning curve they call it. Learning isn't easy because now you got to imprint it. Like Neo, you got to put that shit in your brain, and it's like you know. Yeah. But I promise you, every time I've ever said, you know what, I'm just going to do this, it's been, there was a reason I did that.
I have to change my mind about it. Like, I hate anything that seems like homework or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even like cleaning up. When I was young, you would get in trouble, then you would have to go clean something. So it's
almost like a punishment.
So even cleaning up now be a struggle for me, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I have to not look at it like, I have to go and learn this. I have to sit down and take time for this till I get to. I have to be.
So you have a negative connotation behind it.
I have to change my mind so I get to take this time to read this book. I learn while moving. So you want to teach me some kata, some martial arts, some dance moves. Cool. As long as we moving, I can learn it like that. But as soon as you have to sit me down and you write on this board and tell me what I retained,
I wonder what. I wish
I'd be like, all your D's look funny, and then like something like that. It'll be, you know what I'm saying? Like you write weird. Man. Yeah, man. I need to be moving. I need to be like,
well, like what if there's a way that you can like?
No, I know that. Bro, you and me both have worked at restaurants, and you had to take those tests to get, on the food and stuff. I can't remember that stuff. I would have to write rhymes. So I would write, like they'd be like the burger come with lettuce and ketchup. You get the half pounder. I would have to.
So you can remember the rhymes,
I
but
would
not
have to
when
be
like
the burger come with lettuce, ketchup, half pounder. Or you could get it smaller if you like your meat ground up. I would have to write a whole little rap. Then while taking the test, a question will come. Then I have to repeat my rap.
That's still dope. Boom. You found a way to get it done though.
Yeah, that's dope. Other than that, just retaining it.
My way is way different. My way is, which is actually, I've read that's a smart way to do how to remember shit. But the way I always did, and this is crazy, I would just write it down 100 times. I'd write. That sounds crazy to you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I would hate it though. As a matter of fact, that last job I was at the turf room. I'm talking about the hardest test ever. I mean, way harder than any college or high school test I've ever taken.
All that.
This shit was hard as fuck, man. And I'm talking about you had to memorize 100% of the shit. And I'm telling you, you had to know every ingredient, every sauce, all this shit. Then for the drinks, you had to know every drink, the ounces, the glass, how often you shake it, the information.
That's crazy.
So, but mind you, I'm hearing niggas getting paid working here. So I'm like,
said, I will do it.
So I'm like, I gotta figure it out, right? And I ain't studied it, like studied in a hot minute. Yeah. And I was like, how do I even went online. I went to YouTube. Mm-hmm. I'm like, how do you study better? And I had all these different things, but one of yours is like a way, definitely, I forgot the word, but there's a way to relate to something that you fuck with. So it's easy to go back. Mm. But one of the ways is just repetition. kind of like muscles and shit, repetition. So it's like the same.
You
gotta redo it until you get it right? And that shit is like strenuous. Yeah. I just gotta write this shit 100 times. So the way I would do it, I'd be like, lettuce, tomato, onions. I would write it, and then I would write it again, and then write it again, and then I would try to see how far it can get without looking. And then if I was off, I had to write it again.
I wouldn't have worked there. Okay.
And I was like, but that's just the way I study. Some people read it and it was good. But I'm like, so I remember writing the same thing like hundreds of times. But I passed that bitch, though.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations. But my point is that it was horrible, man. Oh, but that little learning curve. So going back to like just going through bullshit and resistance.
Yeah.
The resistance is our friend, I feel like. Especially physically, that's true.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So it's 100%. So without that feeling of, it ain't going to work.
Yeah, okay.
Say like like a diet, right? The resistance is, damn, that motherfucker taco, them 7 tacos look flame. Or let's say you have 3 tacos. Why don't I want to get 4 more tacos? I want to get 4 more. So I have to, it's vicious. So you have to go through that. Heartbreak, you got to feel that shit to now learn better ways and understand. So my point is, it feels like that bullshit is really the key. Like you almost,
because once you get past that, you really getting something out of the situation.
I read somewhere that the failure, and we be trying to and I get it, man. I get it. We be trying to get away from failure. We don't look stupid and shit. We don't want to fuck it up. But he goes, our biggest data point is when we fuck up. When you fuck something up, like for instance, a baby touches or a kid touches a hot stove. That's a fuck up. Right. You fucked up.
But they learned something from that, right? Yeah, no. Pain,
because I know,
pain help you remember.
Right. Like, oh, shit, I touched that and I don't touch that.
Yeah. I used to have a Master Kim in martial arts, Taekwondo. He used to say the same thing. Pain will help you remember. And you would be messing up. He'd be like, block your head. And you'd be looking at him like, I think I am. Then it hit you, that pain will help you remember. And you would. You would remember.
That's a good point.
Yeah, man.
So, like, And now, and trying to understand that. Now, mind you, I'm not sitting here talking like I know all, but this is shit that I'm learning in my brain for me. It feels like I now go through my life a little different because it's like when I see that bullshit coming, I get excited. It's weird. It's so weird because before I would try to stay away from that feeling. Like by all means, stay away from just feeling of hard and tough. Like, I'd rather just stay home and eat tacos and do nothing.
But I think there's a difference between that resistance you get from like knowing like, oh, you got to sit down and go and learn this or read this, to like when bad things are happening. Or to me, I feel like same thing. When stuff starts getting rough, I know to me there's a blessing behind there. And either the devil's trying to distract you, that's how I feel, make you start looking at the little things that's messed up so you don't really notice the blessing that's going on, or there's a blessing that's about to happen and the devil trying to throw his little jabs in there before that blessing happened, because ain't nothing he could do about that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel.
Well, I agree with you. There's definitely different, but I still think they're both shitty feelings.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Sure. So my point is that shitty, whatever the shitty is like it. I'm telling you,
behind there is something
in all situations
worth dealing with that shitty for.
Even like in the movie, we was watching the movie the other day, the Tomorrow War.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Man, we got to go to Russia." And the very next scene was a motherfucker telling him he can't go to Russia. That's resistance. As a matter of fact, I looked this up a while ago. That shit was called the guardian threshold. It's always that one situation to telling the hero that he can't do it. Like, no, what? Don't go talk to that girl. Look at you. You're out of her league, or she's out of your league. And then the hero or whoever the subject of you have to get over that.
Right.
So, and again,
to make the choice to even try.
Right. And most niggas don't. So most niggas so in real life, not a movie, but in real life, we all let that guardian threshold win.
Yeah.
And whatever it is. I feel like what I'm learning now is you have to find ways to beat that guardian threshold and whatever it is you fucking with.
Do you recall any guardian thresholds in your life where you recall like someone saying something to you that made you not try as hard as something that you was like doing? Like a statistic or something. Like someone with rap was like, you know how many people don't make it in a rap? Like they gave me that. And then another was like, it was almost like you should try something else. Someone else also told me like, you should stick to the what they tell me, to the martial arts over rap. They was like, you could probably get farther doing that. And at that time, I took what they said to heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, looking back at it now, I had to look at like what they was doing. Like, they was a teacher. And I let a teacher tell me that I should stick to something over something else when, you know, they weren't doing nothing big, nowhere near as big as what I was, like, looking at in my mind, you know?
Right. Or the fact that if you don't know what the fuck, what do you know about rapping?
Right.
You're a motherfucking teacher.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the teachers, but how you gonna tell somebody else about their craft? Like, for instance, a lot of motherfuckers coming to me, and not too often. And I don't think they don't even come. They're not even coming from a fucked up place. But let's say somebody goes, "Oh, you should do this for the joke, or you should do this," and they ain't never tried to make a joke before. Mm-hmm. You should do this in your videos, but you ain't never made a video before. So it's like, you know, and listen. At the end of the day, you know, you're a human being. Say, do whatever the fuck you want. But I have to get better at have more empathy. Like, okay, but that's just how people gonna do. They just gonna do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get crazy about it. Like, okay, niggas gonna be like that sometimes, which I think you're really good at. Yeah. You just, you know, this niggas is niggas, right?
This is what it is.
It's almost like I have so much. It's like I put a lot of faith in motherfuckers, you know. Like I feel like no, nigga. Sometimes I be telling motherfuckers they dope, and they don't believe me. I can feel it in their eyes, and I'm like, nope. I got to get this nigga some real energy right now because he really don't know.
Not everyone's Superman all the time. Sometimes you feel like Clark Kent. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you can't really do it. I think that, or some people don't realize.
That's what I think. I think if they don't realize.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion. So like it'll be like a dude and saying like, oh man, I can't, and it reminds me of my story about the cane. And as soon as I feel somebody feeling that thought that I felt back in the day, I cannot help myself to you. Yeah. You know this. I cannot help myself but to be like, nah, I can't let that slide. You're so much more dope than the fuck, nah, cause whatever excuse you got, nah, nigga. I know you got excuses because I had a million excuses too, and you can get shit done. Nope.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, but here's the dope thing about that. Since that's a thing, that means you can make it. If I don't respect none of your excuses because I'm telling you that don't matter, you can make it. That's a positive. Yeah. Because you're like, oh, you know what? Maybe I fucking can. And that's really and then selfishly, very narcissistically of me, when they start to win, now I'm winning. Because, and then it's like this.
Why? Because you gassed it up.
Yeah, kind of. Because I'm like, okay, that means I'm doing something with my life.
Right.
And I believe that when motherfuckers feel good, that they living better. Can I prove that? No, but I just think that when niggas is feeling good and smiling,
right, you are living
and
better.
you were part of that. That's what I'm saying, right? So to me, yeah. And I'm like, damn. So it's also an affirmation of. So not only are they feeling better, but if I can, how many more people can I help feel that way? Mm-hmm. And I know you get the same thing with the physical side of it.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's like, if I can have if one nigga on this earth feels better because of some shit that I done said, who's to say that I can't get to everybody? Maybe they got to hear it at different times. And listen, I know not everyone's gonna fuck with you.
Right.
But that's a scarcity mindset. I'm not even. Who cares? I'm trying to get everybody.
Get who you can. Get who gonna mess with you. Yeah.
Because. Honestly, I believe we all can kind of go through that. A lot of us do not do shit because of other people's opinions a lot.
For sure.
I'm going to argue, have you ever done, and mind you a confident motherfucker who's always been T. Mm-hmm. Knowing that, have you ever not done something you wanted to because of another motherfuckers or what society would think or what people would think? Like, oh, I can't do that. They're going to think that's going to look dumb. You ever had that thought?
I'm sure I have. Yeah, I'm sure I have.
Like, okay, I can't do that. Niggas gonna think I'm out here wilding or I can't wear it. Just.
But so if it's something like wearing some clothes or something, when I feel like people gonna think this too much, then it make me want to do it more.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'd be like,
So maybe not with clothes.
Right, something like that.
Felt
but
that
like
before.
Yeah, like I said with the hip hop and stuff. Like I've had people say things that I still remember to this day where we were when they said it, who said it, and like how much it like resonated with me, you know what I'm saying? And like, you know what I'm saying, it affected me more when it came. And I feel like with the hip hop stuff, more than a lot of other things. Like when it comes to the fitness thing, don't nobody really question too much of what I do.
I mean, how the fuck could they? Can anyone be like, no, nigga, like then you go do that shit on American Ninja Warrior. You go do it.
Right, I had this dude at the gym once was like, You work out like it's gonna make you taller. Hey, bro, I fell to the floor. It was the funniest thing I ever heard.
I mean, nigga, who the fuck is like that? Be done. Like, how you gonna question Tavares?
But no, yeah, no, I feel like the rap stuff, the hip hop, there's people that said things that, like, I was like, you know, it made me think, or maybe like, like maybe I should try something else.
Right.
But never have I ever been like a regular job. It was always like something that should probably be on camera. Right. You know what I'm saying? I never thought like, okay, maybe I should just go, even like owning the gym. I never was like, I should just go own the gym. You know what I'm saying? Even like right now, I feel like this is more of a setup to like me and my boy that films. We talking like a gym reality show or something. You know what I'm saying? Like Body Shop in the Burbs. We been throwing, because we got clips of just stuff like me messing around with clients and stuff, and all that stuff can be chopped and pasted and turned into a whole show.
100%.
So like, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something on film.
You definitely like to be seen.
Yeah. Well, and
I'm the same way.
But you know what? There's times where you it was self-conscious. Like there's a lot of times I've been in situations where it was like, I'll be with someone and they'll be like, oh, you're so active everywhere else, and they expect me to be that show. They'll bring me somewhere and be like, you didn't talk to nobody in my family or something like that. Like, I'm not at the gym right now. I'm not at the club. I'm not always like that. I am chill at times, and you know what I'm saying. So sometimes it's like,
you're a human.
I don't know that like there's sometimes I don't even know that it's like oh yeah, I need the camera to be there, but I feel the talents that I have, like I can make the most for myself if a lot of people seen it at one time, if that makes sense. Like I feel like it should. I don't know. I'm not always comfortable on camera, but the talents that I have are good for camera, if that makes sense.
But you always still do the camera thing though, if the situation presents itself.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna turn it down because of me being like, oh, if someone like call me and be like, oh, come do this gig or come do this. You do have those nervous thoughts 100%. Still, no matter how long you've been doing this.
Right, even the Jay-Z's shit, they all still say that shit.
And, sometimes it'll feel like it's your first time. Sometimes like that, it feel like, but then
so like it could be that
like
powerful
that feeling, bro.
Even if you didn't done it 100 times.
Yeah, and it's funny, and you think like, damn, why am I like this? And
right.
And then you watch other people and being around other people that do the same thing or whatnot. You see everyone go through that. I know someone who gets to they gig and then like they keep going back and forth to the bathroom, have to listen to certain music to get themselves pumped up to go do whatever it is, and it could be like news reporter type stuff. But they gotta listen to their 50 Cent. They gotta get in your zone. Cause yeah, man, it's crazy because you do worry about like being on camera and like all that stuff. You still, it's still.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of people, they're so scared of that feeling, right? Mm. And then to tell somebody it's going to always be that way. Mm. Yep. But I feel like, but that's the guardian threshold though, right? If you going to feel it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is the way it is. You're going to feel it. Even when I'm making a video and I press in, it's either going to be funny or it ain't.
Right.
And that feeling of that.
I think it's more about how I feel like I'm going to look. Or so like I like the first time I heard my voice rapping. In my mind, I sounded like Jay-Z. I heard myself, it was more like DMX or something. And I was like, who is that? I don't like that. I thought I sounded like this. And so I think other people, they're going to judge you regardless if you're doing good or bad. So I really think like, what are other people going to see? And is it going to be embarrassing? Because, like, what is that going to do? That's not going to stop me from paying my rent, stop me from working, stop me from getting into heaven. It's not going to disrespect my mom. Who cares?
Right.
And I'm not so who cares about that? It's more like when I see it, am I going to be, like, embarrassed from it? You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Right.
It's different.
And I think a lot of people care more about
what everyone else thinks. Yeah.
And that's where the CARESNONE comes in so motherfucking powerful. Because, which is kind of different than what you just mentioned, but I'm telling you, I'm going to speak for myself, but I can imagine a lot of people agree with this. The reason they don't go up and do the thing, like to go up on stage and do what you see, clearly you believe what you're doing because you're doing it. Mm. Clearly you believe that because you go on stage, risking that what could happen and going further than that feeling, but at the end of the day, you could get judged, and they could boo your ass, and they could say this the trashiest nigga of all time, but you still go through that anyway, and it don't matter. And I feel like and you get like reward from that, like when you beat that.
For sure. You know what? But emceeing, like just keeping the party going and talking, is way more. I'm way more comfortable doing that than like spitting one of my raps. Cause like my raps, like I rap from the heart. I'm more worried about being judged by other people from that than them judging me being on stage just talking shit to keep the party going. Like, that's whatever. Like, I'm getting paid to talk shit up here, and then I get to go home. I'm getting paid to party right now. You paid to get in here. You paying for drinks. You might not like what I'm saying, but what you're paying is paying me.
So let me ask you this: how do you get a motherfucker to adopt that? Because that's like what I'm trying to do. Because a lot of motherfuckers don't. They think the opposite of how you think. You know, they're like, some people to turn down opportunities that could clearly benefit them because they're worried about other motherfuckers.
Right.
You know, so like, what would you say is a good piece of advice to give to that person? That's a great question.
So the more you just do it. Like, think about. And so, like, it got to be, for me, what helped, I started young. I started emceeing bar mitzvahs at 17, 18, like straight out of high school. So I was getting good money, but I had to go do something even way more formal than a nightclub. So it was like I was doing something harder. Like, I can't mess up this kid, this 13-year-old kid, this bar mitzvah kid is becoming a man. This is a family memory that, like, this is their tradition. You know, so it was like, I think that was way more pressure than being in front of a nightclub. And it's just like, keep these drunk people happy. You know what I'm saying? That was easy. So when I got there, by that time, it was like, you know, let's just rock. I don't got to do no formalities or nothing like that. So I started young. So I feel like I was blessed in that sense where I was thrown in it young. And what kept me from backing out was the amount of money. I was like, for that amount of money, like you said, the people was making money at that restaurant, you writing that shit down 100 times to remember it. Okay, I was like, I'm going to get up here. And for you know, and when I first started emceeing at 17, 18, I think I was getting maybe like $300 or $400 for a 4-hour party. That was the most money I was ever seeing.
I mean, that's good money,
you know,
especially at that age.
I was getting like $100 an hour almost. So it was like, I'm going to get up here and I'm going to just do. And the guy that hired me, he was kind of like one of those, like, here's a mic. When you feel like you're talking too much, you're almost talking enough. And go. So he believed in me in a sense where, like, we just need to talk for these 4 hours. Almost like, who cares what you say? So I learned, you know, you made some mistakes along the way. You say stuff. Sometimes it don't fly over. Sometimes you say it a little bit too much. So you learn. But I feel like I did the hard part first because I had to do bar mitzvahs and corporate events and parties.
Yeah, so it's even tougher.
Right.
Than
So
just
when
getting
you saw me, I'm at the nightclub where they was just like, say whatever you want, just keep these people happy.
So the repetition and the consistency.
The more you do it, the better you get. Every time, you're still gonna be just as nervous like it's your first time. And then what's scary you is that time you don't get nervous. Like, you be like, oh, the party coming up and you're not nervous. You're gonna be like, you know, you think about, because all the other times you was nervous and you did great. This time you're not nervous, so you start thinking, I'm about to fuck this all the way up. Halfway through the party, you realize, oh, you know, shit's cool. You know, you got to get past, like you said, that resistance, that you get that feeling. Sometimes it's so overbearing. The greatest talent just won't display their talent because you're just so nervous.
I know, and I know that motherfucker. I know that runs deep because that runs deep in me still. And then especially when you're trying to do new shit out of your comfort zone. Like, I know, but it's like, I'm telling y'all, if you find a way to break through that, right on the other side is all the gold and shit. Yeah. All the jewels in life and the good pieces is right behind that bullshit. It's even like with the working out. It's, yeah, I know them first, say you got to do 10, them first 5, all right, boom, boom, we knock those out. 6, 7, 8. Mm-hmm. Oh.
Mm-hmm. It's behind that.
It's behind that.
That's where the results come in.
And the real killer you are, the more past that you go.
Yeah.
So if you want to kill, you got to keep how further past that feeling. And that's where you start growing the shit. So all of a sudden now your number's getting bigger because you're growing it by going through that resistance.
Yeah, you ain't really getting nothing done until you feeling like that pain, that like Muhammad
they
Ali
call it the
said.
pump, right?
Muhammad wouldn't even count until the pain kicked in. So he'll be doing whatever workout he's doing, and then, you know, say he's doing them crunches. You know, he gets about 20, he start feeling that pain. That's 1, 2, 3. That's how you know you're getting legit results. Is, you know. So yeah,
I never heard of that.
Pain, get past the results, yeah, man.
To don't even start the numbers until you can't fit. Now that's
like,
gangster.
There's some science behind that, because, you know, it's like you walk in the gym, you lay down to do your chest workout, you know, and you ain't warmed up. You do like a set of 10. Most people do like 3 sets of 10. Them first 7 is just warming you up. So the only thing that counted was the last 3. You just got 3 real reps in that might do something to you. So like it's like
that's true as fuck.
You got to figure out a way to get your heart rate up first and get in what they call like fat burning zone, and that's where you need to be to burn muscle and or build muscle. You get there, and then you can almost spot trend. A lot of people say you can't like pick a certain area of your body and like cut there without cutting everywhere else. Not totally true. You can, but you got to get your heart rate in the right spot, and if you figure that out, get your heart rate up, and then do something like bench press, which makes your heart rate go down because you're laying down.
Right.
Closer you are to the ground, your heart rate go down faster. So, there's a science behind that. So that my man wasn't counting till the pain kicked in.
That seems like the secret sauce. Because I've always been, I'm just knocked this out. And then, now I'll say this. Lately, I have gone a few times, I'm going to just go to a failure. Right? Because I feel like you can't really lose with that.
Right.
But like if I want to get more organized for the purposes, let's say I want to do 10 reps this time or whatever, to get more organized now, and next time I want to do 12, and just get more organized with instead of just always just kind of lollygag and not being intentional enough. But if you say, okay, as soon as you feel a burn, then you count, then I can be more organized and then you, like you said, all 10 of those reps mean something as opposed to that last 3.
Right.
Whoa, that's
and
a bar.
You wasted all that energy, wasted all that time warming up. Most of your workout was warming up if you're not in the right heart rate zone.
Damn, I bet you just put somebody on that one.
I hope so. I hope so. Take that jewel with you. BodyShopGymnasium.com. Grand opening July 17th. Come bring your friends and family.
This Saturday.
This Saturday, yes. Not even a week away.
So the answer to that question is, so what would you tell somebody? You would say just to find a way to do it and keep doing it?
Yeah, to do it as much as possible. Just keep doing it. And then, like, you can practice and, like, I don't know, like, I don't feel like the practices help. Well, maybe they did because with that guy, Bernie Howard, shout out to Bernie Howard, Big Boys Entertainment, he hit me up like, hey, I want you to be the face of my company. He was like, we only going to have one crew. It's going to be you and some Chicago Rush cheerleaders back when they had the arena football. He was like, but you're going to be their boss. And I was like, cool. I get there. These beautiful women's.
These ones vicious, huh?
Beautiful. And then it's me. And they're like, oh, where'd you dance at? I'm like, Wheeling High School. And they were like, no, dance school. No. They're like, you weren't taught, so you're not a real dancer. I'm like, I'm your boss. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But anyway, he had
was
like
they on some serious shit?
No, they were just like, but they were like where they wanted to know where I got my skills from. Like I went to some school.
So they were like shocked that you didn't go to school because you were like good at it.
Not even because they hadn't seen me yet. We do anything. They just we were talking. Yeah.
Okay.
But they were just asking like, how did you become the face? I was young. How are you the face of this? We're like, they were all older than me or around my age. No, they was all older. And they was kind of looking like how we got to sit and listen to what you tell us to do this whole time, kind of, But I think it was all new to all of us, you know what I'm saying? And he had like a little makeshift stage in his garage. He put me up there, gave me a mic, had the dancers right in front of me. And I was like, act like it's about mitzvah. And he just stood there. And I'm like, he's like, what would you say first? And I had to.
Right, which is probably the fastest.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to whoever's bar mitzvah. My first dance name was Tango. Yeah, I'm Tango, everybody. This is Big Boys Entertainment. These are my lovely dancers and DJ. I wasn't even this good back then, This is DJ Chris Carroll.
I mean, but let's be honest. Yeah. You probably learn real quick.
Real quick. Yeah, you do. You do. So, yeah, practice and then just do it as much as you can. And it makes it easier if you're getting paid a nice amount to do it because you're going to just go do it and fuck up and then fix it and learn on the way. And then you just,
Yeah, people worried about those fuck ups.
Yeah.
They real scared about what if I fuck it up. And it's like, so I would tell that person from my, and before we finish this topic, the only reason I talk with such confidence as if I know is because I put a lot of time studying motherfuckers who have done.
Yeah.
So it's not like I just grew up and knew the shit. I put a lot of time, and I'm now starting to implement these things that I be talking about. I'm just learning, and I'm starting to see benefits and fruits of my labor by doing them. Yeah. But I'm still new to all the shit that I'm talking. So I'm putting that out there right now. But all these niggas say, these successful people say that. What we talking about again? We were talking about
already. You ain't even drinking no more. Do you forget what we talking about?
Was you drinking last time?
No, you had just quit. You had just quit. Last time you had just quit drinking.
Well, fuck. Oh no, I had to keep talking about the resistance.
The resistance.
What people would do. Oh, nigga, I'm right there. and on that, hold on.
He said on that note.
I just didn't need to fill this up.
No,
Can you fill it up? Yeah. That's the cool thing about the podcast, nigga. It's our show.
So you do what you want to do.
Yeah, nigga.
Do what you want to do.
Yeah, I can say, man, fuck that topic. That's the best part of the show. I know. I do know one thing though, is what if someone was really like on that? They're like, oh man, and they taking it in, and I'm just like, fuck, I forgot.
Just stopped and just forgot.
I'll circle back. It's been a while since I've had a circle back issue. I normally circle back pretty good.
Yeah.
Because of the no drinking.
Come on, let me know.
Anyway,
you even taking your alpha brain.
I need it. Well, no, like I said, I got this other shit. It ain't alpha brain, but it felt like it was in the same ballpark of whatever the fuck it was. It's this, I don't know, for people listening, alpha brain, that shit from On It is the brand. Joe Rogan shit, or he's part of it. And what would you classify it as? Like a clarity?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's good for the brain. It's like a brain supplement. It's clarity, help you with your memory, help you. You know, sometimes you can't figure out the right word to say for what you're trying to say. So
I need my alpha brain.
And I'm gonna tell you, like, you know, I was watching Joe Rogan talk about it, and I really respect a lot of stuff he said. I feel like he's fairly real. Like I don't think he say too much of nothing he don't believe. Right. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you feel. I agree.
And so I got it. I tried it. First 3 days, I felt like I was just zone out. Like, you know, I look at this water bottle and really start thinking about what this water bottle is about. You know, what it say, what it do, how it's made. And then, like, after that third day, I felt like I was able to compartmentalize better. Where the way my mind think, I think from this to that to this.
Right,
to that,
what you were talking about earlier.
Right, jump around. I was able to, like, really focus on something, which would still make you think about something else. But I was able to, like, put that where it needed to be, think about what I was trying to think about.
So it's like a concentration pill. It helps you concentrate.
Right. I was able to focus better in the gym.
You ever looked into Adderall? You ever had Adderall?
I'm supposed to be on Adderall.
My
mom was like, I'm not putting my son on Adderall. I'm going to whoop his ass every time he do something wrong.
You ever taken it recreationally?
Yes, I have.
I love that shit.
But it don't make me want to keep turning up. It make me want to start getting stuff done. Like I want to go home and vacuum.
It makes me like more like focus. It's like the limit. I know when I take it, I feel like I have the most productive whatever it is I'm doing. Right. So if I'm cooking, man, I'm about to cook my ass off. If I'm having this conversation with this chick, we about to have a talk. We about to get it in.
Talk.
I remember one day I had a birthday, and I mean, bro, the whole restaurant went out. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I think it was Adobe. It might have been, to be honest, it might have been that night. Yeah, that damn night that my birthday where you got me on stage. Thank you for that. That was dope.
That was a good time.
But we was gone.
Yeah.
That night I was gone. We didn't stop. Then we went back to the house. We didn't stop drinking till like 6 a.m. Like one of those nights.
Yeah.
I mean, going.
What time you had to be at work?
At like 3:30. Like, and mind you, I'm gone out the wind. Might have been later than 6. It might have been on some 12s. It was late, and I woke up like, oh no, Saturday night. You already know it'd be popping.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm not going. And I'm getting out the car, walking. I'm like, I'm dead. I'm like, there's no way I'm about to do this shit. I'm still drunk. Like I'm wasted.
And this at the place you had to write things down 100 times to get into?
Nah, this is before that. But this is white chocolate where the service was still serious.
Yeah.
The service at this other place, it was only hard because of what you had to know.
Okay.
White chocolate, there was this team service issue, and they be on, and it polices itself. So that actually you had to be more on your shit.
Okay.
Because of the system that they had.
Yeah.
Still to this day, the best restaurant I've ever worked at as far as teamwork and shit. Like that's how they get down. Like there be such, not to get off that original point, and I actually remember. But you know how people say like full hands in, full hands out? Mm-hmm. Niggas did it here.
Yeah.
Like
on it.
And there'd be times, let's say every now and again niggas start slacking, niggas and manage right there. Nope. And like, and then after a while you just
comes natural.
It comes natural, right? So you had to be on your shit. So anyways, to circle back. Mm-hmm. So I'm walking in there fucked up, and there's one of the twins that used to work there. She goes, "You look bad, bruh." I'm like, I'm still drunk. I'm giggling and shit. She goes, "Here, take one of these." As a matter of fact, no, take 2. I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" She goes, "Adderall." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I had no idea. I'm like, "What is?" She goes, "Trust me, just take that. Trust me." And I'm like, and at this point, I'm like, I'll do anything because like I don't know if I'm gonna get fired. Like it's bad. Imagine just like, I'm like drunk, about to try to work. Anyway, so I took these pills and it didn't kick right away. So I'm like, these motherfuckers don't work. So I think I'm fucked up. 20 minutes in, all of a sudden my damn eyes got big, and I'm like, oh shit. I feel like Neo. I swear to God.
Matrix.
Man, I was pop, 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 and all of a sudden, and now I'm happy. Hey, hold on. Right before that feeling, I'm like, oh, my stomach got a little ill. And I'm like, oh, I'm about to get sick, and then that's when it clicked. So, I mean, I'm on cloud 9, and I'm more efficient than I've ever been.
Yeah.
And I don't feel drunk. As a matter of fact, I'm happy. I'm at the tables giving energy. I'm woo, da-da-da-da. I remember I'll never forget, this dude was like, I love your energy. And I'm like, you have no idea. Anyway, so I go to the boss man. And mind you, I'm all cheesy and this shit, hustling. Yeah. And everyone is, because she must have passed them out. Yeah. And like the whole restaurant went out. He was like, he looked at me in the eye. He was like, I don't know what y'all did last night or what y'all on now, but I love it.
Y'all was in there working hard.
Nigga, it was like the best shift any of us had ever worked. It was like, it was flawless. No fuck ups. No comps, nigga. It was love. Yeah. So I've always been like, what the fuck is that shit you just gave me? Because I was gone. Yeah. The next day wasn't necessarily great, but my point is, to me, that's dangerous. Because
people
all I
start
got
depending on that.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, ain't that shit a thing in college campuses? Writing papers and shit. Yeah. Or like, because it works. You take some Adderall and they're prescribing it though. Right. It's not even like, it's one thing if I'm doing it to turn up. I wasn't prescribed, but she gave me some shit that the doctors give to people.
Yeah, they tried to give me Adderall and another one like Prozac or something.
Oh, that's one I used to hear back in the day. You don't really hear about that one as much.
Yeah, no. Yeah, well, it was when I was younger. They made me take some tests, and they said I had ADHD, and then some other shit, and yeah.
See, I wonder if they just be telling, like, do you feel like something's different though?
I mean, only because people be like, man, you got ADHD or something. They be like, you can't stay focused, or like you got so much energy. And I know that it's more than just my physical energy. Like, I know in my head that, I feel like stuff be speeding. Like, I think in rhyme a lot, and, my subjects be jumping, and paying attention to other people. I have to remind myself, like, pay attention. They'll be talking. Then I have to be like, come back, pay attention. They'll be talking, say something that made me think about something else, and I'll be like looking at them, thinking about that, and be like, wait, come back, pay attention.
Right, and you would think that having that repetition of going back, you would be getting better at it as you go, because that's meditation, right? Yeah. Like every time
you still go somewhere else. You do it, and you'll start thinking about how you always don't pay attention. It'll be something stupid like that. Like, Dad, you always do this. You always look. You're not doing it again. You're supposed to be paying attention. They talking. Pay attention.
See, to me though, but that's kind of like what meditation is. It's not meditation, but the act of going back to. Actually, it is, because you're thinking. Yeah. I guess the idea is you're actually trying to be more present. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily you don't want to think. You want to be listening.
Present to what's going on here.
You know what helped me a lot with that is this podcast.
I was just thinking that it's easier for me to pay attention while we're doing this. You know what I'm saying?
And it gets a lot easier the more you do it. So I remember in the very beginning of me doing the pod, and I actually was listening to one of me and Steve's the other day. I was dying. But I noticed what I do now versus now. Mind you, I'm 67 episodes, hour and a half in. I've been doing it. I got a little bit more behind me. So obviously, naturally, you would be better at it by doing it.
Get more comfortable, get better.
Right. And I would always be talking, and the person would say something, and then I would hear a point that they have to say, and I'm too busy now because I'm trying to keep the conversation right. Trying to find a way to get what I'm thinking about. What part can I get in to piggyback off that last part you said, to make it make sense instead of listening to what you're saying this whole sentence. You right?
You were doing that more before.
Way more early on, because I was too worried about making sure it's a flow of a conversation in the show and production value. When I believe listening to them back then versus listening to them now, it's a more fluid conversation because I'm actually truly listening now.
Right. It's easy to just have a real conversation.
And I still have moments where I'm like, oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. But then I'm more willing now to, okay, fuck that point because I want to listen. Yeah, so if I don't get to that point, who gives a fuck? Thinking abundance, which is the abundance. That's the fucking.
That's such a beautiful thing. Just having those little reminders, even the CARESNONE, bro, to remind yourself, you get nervous and be like those people who get nervous about showing their talent. You got to think like you're about to get that money. And is showing your talent, if these people don't like it, are they going to kick you off stage? Which most likely not. They're going to let you finish. They're not really going to boo you. You know what I'm saying? Most situations. You're going to get your money and then get out of there. And if you want to keep doing it, you probably have somewhere else to do it again. And if not, you got other shit you could do. Cares none. Think about that. Like what can happen? As long as these people can't fuck your money up that you about to get from doing that, cares none. Makes it real easy to get back up there and do it again. You know what I'm saying? So having those reminders like that, and then the other one you were just saying, the abundance mindset, like let this go, man. Because it's going real come. like sentimental, hard to let things go. Thinking like, what if I don't ever find this again?
Scarcity.
You let that shit go, bro.
Scarcity. Because that's what keeps us. Because we're living in scarcity as people.
Yeah.
I know I was. Yeah. Even with my food issue, I can tell now where it's coming. Or at least I feel. I want to go talk to somebody eventually. But I feel like when there's a situation where there's a lot of delicious food, right?
You scared you're not going to get some of it?
It's like, nigga, I got to get it now because you're on some greedy shit. You always say that. I swear to God.
You ain't going to get enough of
it. I'm going to have to get this pizza, nigga. It's right here. I have to get it now. And I'm being honest. This is how I feel. Yeah. And then I have to something. And mind you, I can beat those way more now. I still lose sometimes, but I can beat them way more now. But I still have to have that thought like, nigga, you can buy a slice tomorrow. You can buy your own slice later. Right. Why do you need to go crazy over this? You just buy a slice when you need something later. Right. Scarcity, like, oh, I gotta have it. You know. So that abundance shit, to me, that in my life, that's probably the number one thing, right? Because it leads to so many different levels. It can answer so many different questions. Is to say you worried about this because you're worried that it won't be this, right. Or you worried about
you won't
the
get
lack.
Something better or something like It makes it easier for me to let things go, to either sacrifice things or what I think is sacrificing. You know what I'm saying?
Which we learned that you think you ain't getting shit,
right?
And it's going to end up like, so if you sacrifice some shit,
there's something you're still getting out of it, but something better in the end or something different than what you letting go. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times what you're letting go, something you don't really need. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're already thinking about, getting rid of it and debating keeping things that you don't, abundance mindset. You'll get it again or you'll get it better. You know what I'm saying? Let that shit go. You know what I'm saying? And so it makes it a lot easier lately to let go of shit.
Well, so I'm not super 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 religious, but I do love the one line of "let go and let God." Mm-hmm. Because that's what that reminds me of, is an abundance. So let's just say I was a religious person. To me, the way that reads is, you think that whatever you got going on can come close to what God's going on? Well, right? Like whatever God's got in store for you is way more vision than what you got in store for you. Right. So just relax. Right, and I can think the same way about whatever, but I understand the philosophy behind that comment, which is an abundance mindset. Yeah. Even with women, I feel like as soon as I stop thinking like, oh man, this is the one, or I'll lose this one, or I gotta go get it now, or I gotta go talk to her now, or whatever situation is, or I gotta find love now. Like, oh, I need a girlfriend, and I feel like, when you just let go and let God, that's when you find that kind of shit.
Right, and it's time, and the time is supposed to happen. I think for me with the let go and let God, when I see people, they be stressing things too viciously. Like, oh man, like I was in a situation where someone was like, I don't know how I'm gonna make rent, this month. I don't know how I'm gonna make rent. I was like, pray about it, and they was like, do God pay your rent? And I said it with an attitude, and I was like, yeah.
She was like,
yeah, she was super salty, like how so? Like, man, like I needed a job and I prayed about it and God gave me this job where I am able to pay my rent. Or there's been times where I didn't know, but I didn't stress, like I didn't think about it like how she was, like her life was going to end. For me, it was like, no. Well, I mean, what they're going to do, they're going to say, hey, you need to pay. I'm going to be late. They might add a fee on that, but I'm still going to be able to, like, have somewhere to sleep until, like, you know, it's a long time before they can really get you out of there. And
like, literally months.
And in that time, if you're working on it, you should be able to find a way
to get it right in that time.
Fix that and or find somewhere to stay or whatnot. So it's not, your life's not over. And I think a lot of times I'd be like, you're not letting God work. In some of those instances where it seems like you can't do nothing, God ain't bring you this far to just bring you this far and let you fall off. And if for some reason something's taken away from you, it's because you either getting complacent and you need to, and for me, like, I'll get complacent. God will give me a blessing. I'll get complacent in that blessing. But them blessings expire after a while. Because he wants more for you. But you feeling comfortable where you at. So that's what'll happen to me. So God will take away that blessing. And so, like, he'll take away this water bottle. And now I'm fighting to get this water bottle back. And then it gets to a point where the only way I can get this water bottle, it come with all the other water bottles that come in the package from Costco. So I'm getting so much more than what I was trying to get back or what I lost. So I feel like when stuff happen, like, let go and let God, that for me is like, when I see those people stressing something too vicious, like it's over for them. Like, no, it's not. You got to let God work sometimes, you know?
I be telling my folks, I be saying, think about every time you had in your life, where you were like, fuck, that feeling. We all been there.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta go pregnant or something, you know, or I'm in jail or some whatever situation. We've all felt it, no matter who you are, no matter what level. Trump probably didn't. Fuck, I'm fucked, right? Mm-hmm. You here right now. You here right now. So that was like, okay. And then if you start to believe, which I believe, I think you do too, that the bullshit is when the level up comes.
Yeah.
So that's where my mind goes first. As soon as there's some resistance, I swear. As soon as I feel the bullshit, like, oh okay.
Right. For me, because me being more religious, it'd be like, something bad happened. I'd be like, thank you, God, because I know what's, something about to go down. Like, what I'm saying? It'd be almost like I know, I know there's something like your car breakdown on the way to work. Thank you, God, for this car, for the time I've had it and the job that I'm about to be late to right now. But I have that job. I'm about to call these people and let them know I'm about to be late. And then, and then it'd be blessings behind that. Like I had trouble with my car recently. And so I hit my clients up like, hey, we're going to have to do this differently because my car issues. Every single client I had was like, do you need a ride? Do you need me to pick you up? Do you need me to take you? And just, so I still ended up with rides everywhere I needed to go or whatnot. And just that love, it made, that feeling like, I'm here to help them. But to see like they got my back like that was something in that.
I remember
that was a
talking
blessing.
to you about that.
Yeah, there was a blessing
really
in that, to realize how much these people really even fuck with you,
Right.
And it's more than like you just helping them make their self healthier or confident or making themselves look better. They fuck with you too. And if you need something, they there for you too. And like just to see it, what I'm saying? You hear it and you know it and you believe it, but it's like to see it really go down and like that was a blessing in itself. And what that took my car to break down and for me to know I'm about to be late for work.
Right, so behind that bullshit.
For me to see that, to get that blessing, to realize that blessing I had. So it was like, and to be able to like, to look at that silver lining, that's a blessing too. Because there's so many people, all they look is that my car's done now. I couldn't get to work today. And that's their day. So that's the rest of their day.
I know. So here's the question I have to you though, with that in mind. What do you believe is a way to help a person who thinks that way, that doesn't want to think that way, but that's the way they think, but they desire to think differently?
Oh man, I think you gotta have a God. You gotta believe in a God and have that true belief and understanding. Like God created all this and could recreate all this in your favor. So it's like right now it might not look the way you want it to look, but having that understanding that God at any moment can change all that for you, and God don't want your life to be shit. So assume that He's working on making it better for you, or this is happening right now for you to see and learn something. So slow down and pay attention right now. And then there's something you're going to get from it that's going to make you better eventually, if not right now. So it's like when you get to that mindset, it's a lot harder to stress things. But I feel like a big part of that for me is having a belief in a God.
So now
I feel like if it wasn't for that and my mother, I'd be out here crazy. I'd be out here wild and crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so as I think we know, I'm not super religious, but I do feel like I can relate to those philosophies that you just mentioned because that's kind of how I live my life, and I do believe in a higher power. And lately I've been reading. I told you reading that thing, that Tao Te Ching, and this happened to me when I let go and let God. This is what happened. I was leaving somewhere at 4. The place closes at 5. I had to go, and I had to be there today, at least as far as like to fulfill orders and shit. I had to get to there. At the end of the day, I didn't have to do shit, but you know what I mean. I wanted to.
In your mind, you had to be.
Yeah, the integrity business, you know.
Right.
So I have to get there, and I know that it's always about 35 minutes. I know this because it always has been, right? So I'm like, if I just leave at 4, that gives me 15, 20 minutes, right? I still don't matter what. 20 minutes, you good, right? So I'm leaving at 4. I check the GPS. Its GPS says I'm gonna get there at like 5:07. Wow. So I'm like,
something going on with traffic somewhere.
And I'm like, damn. My first reaction obviously is, fuck, I'm not gonna make it. But this is right after I read that damn book.
Power in words.
Right? So just right after I read that book and the Tao Te Ching, or the same principles, it's the same philosophy. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna try. If I get there, dope. If I don't get there, I'm not attached to that because I believe that I'm living my life righteously, and I believe anyone who knows me gets down. If I genuinely thought I was doing the right thing, and I could not get here in time for whatever reason, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, the energy will
yeah, like it's gonna work out.
It's gonna be all right. Regardless.
I swear to God, I felt this way.
Yeah.
I didn't even speed. I just said, I'm going to just go. I promise you. So but I was like, I'm going to give it a shot, though. You never know. Tell me how come I got there at like 4:54. Somehow 20-something minutes or something got took off.
Pulled off. Yeah. God is good.
And that's right after that feeling of like and that was like, so I was like, oh, you know what? Let me try to literally use this shit that I've been learning. Let me put it into existence. And I know that sounds foo-foo and crazy. I know, but I'm telling y'all that's what happened. Yeah. So that made me believe in the affirmations. Manifesting. And I'm like, this is fucking real. And then tell me this, T. When you have these moments, you're like, yep. And then all of a sudden you can remember other times you're like, oh, that was a thing too for me. I manifested that. Oh, I did that. And then it's like, wait a minute. If all that shit was true then, all this is happening now, what if I just go hard body on this philosophy with everything? Then what can you really accomplish?
Yeah.
And I listen, some people are going to be like, these niggas, I'm telling you, that's how I feel. I believe that shit to my fucking core. I'll die on that belief that if you put that energy towards something and you believe that shit and you just know it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
And even if it doesn't happen, you'll almost guaranteed get something way better.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Like sometimes you might not get that what you was asking for, but along the way you will get and or learn why you weren't supposed to get that, or get something along the way that
it's more
outweighs all that. That
it's like it's gonna work out.
I got a buddy that wanted to be a rapper, so. Wanting to be the rapper, he had to have beats and stuff. So he never wanted to be a producer, make beats and nothing like that. Started making beats for his own raps. Now he owns a studio and makes good money, making beats, having a studio. He don't even really make beats no more. He just has a studio. People come in and they pay for the space. And he wouldn't, where he's at in his life now, he really wanted to have been a rapper, the things that come with it and all that. But that's what led him there, And he was like, man, that's crazy. I wanted to be there rapping. And now that's the last thing I would have wanted to be doing. I love what I'm like. He loves where he's at and what he's doing, and would not want to really, really be the rapper he likes. And and that all happened by trying to be a rapper.
Now, do you think that that's a thing that can be learned, or that was never really your thing to begin with? So, for instance, there was one point where I was DJing. And I was serious about it. Right. And I felt like that was the move. Yeah. Or there was a time where I was cutting hair. I'm like, this is the move.
Yeah.
Or I'm doing this. I'm like, wait, this is the move. And now all of a sudden the move is is this community of the CARESNONE Nation and clothing. Now that's the move.
I believe everybody either has something great in them and they have to figure out what it is, or everyone can do what they want to do if they truly believe in themselves enough. And I feel like in your aspect, like if you would have kept with your DJ thing, that's what you would have been doing. If you would have kept with the cutting hair, that's what you would have been doing, just as big as you're doing CARESNONE right now.
Now let me ask you this: maybe now this is just for the art of conversing. Maybe the reason why those didn't connect at the time they did, even though I felt like at the moment, because I didn't have the knowledge or the whatever or the experience. Like the main thing that sticks out to me of why those didn't stick to why shit is sticking more now is because of consistency.
Okay.
Which I've had to learn that, wait a minute, consistency is key in everything.
Right.
That's one of the 16 laws of success. So it's like, I would have never learned that if I would have stuck with that. I would have never known how. Yes. I wouldn't have realized how important consistency is because I would have never known that without.
Just for that.
No, my point is if so, at least in this Tao, how would you know that there was light without darkness?
Oh, you had to not be consistent before in order to see
realize
how important it is later.
Yes.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like,
okay.
So what I had to really fuck the shit up and not be on something to say, wait a minute, something's not right. And then be introduced to, no, this is what you got to do. And then to know that, oh, wait, if I had stayed on that, who telling what kind of DJ I would have been right now?
Right.
So that's what I've been. So it's like, so maybe you could just shortcut all of this shit to say consistency is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And hopefully learn from everyone else's mistakes. But I think experience.
Well, yeah, I think about, other countries, like, our Olympic athletes, along the way, they figure out they good at whatever it is. And then, usually they're not like, when they born, like, you're going to be a gymnastics, whatever. Like, other countries, they do that. Like, you be born, you're going to be our gymnastic Olympic athlete. And they train you for that your whole life. And, and that's different. That consistency, and
it still works.
And that's what they be, right. Ours, we got not too many choices, but you got choices. So along the way, you like this right now, then you like that.
So what do you like? Would you rather have the choices or be forced to do the one thing?
Oh man, I mean,
that's the question for your ass.
Me loving like ninjas and stuff like that. Like they didn't have no choice originally, and so I would love to have had that where I had that full discipline for so long, and then later on been sent to America. And like now you got choices, but you have something where you so cold at this one thing that you could always go back to that, but then now go explore other choices and see if there's something else you like as well or more, and fall back and do that whenever you need to, or if you don't end up liking that. Yeah, I would love to have had something like that, but that comes with not having a lot of what we call life, because you stuck doing that one thing.
Right. Because I feel like the choice makes the accomplishments feel better. Like I'm choosing to have the discipline.
Right.
So it's like the choice.
Yeah, it makes it way better, way more like.
Right, as opposed to like, nope, when you get up, I don't have a choice.
And usually them people that had to do it, they don't love that.
Right.
They don't, that's just what
and
they'll
be good, but
Right, exactly. And they
talking to Lamar earlier, he was really close to this basketball player that went to the league. And he was saying how he was good as hell. So the topic got brought up as people be like, oh, that dude sucks and he's in the NBA, right? And the topic got brought up like, first of all, the worst nigga in the NBA will destroy you.
Right.
There's 300 positions or whatever in the world. I promise you that nigga is cold.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Because there's bums at the rec that can hoop.
Yeah.
So if he's in the league, nigga, as a matter of fact, you don't know if you follow basketball too much. You know Brian Scalabrine?
No.
Okay, so they call him the White Mamba. He's a fan favorite, right? And he wasn't like, he didn't put up numbers like that. People liked him because he's kind of like a dorky white dude, but he was in the league, though.
Yeah.
I saw a TikTok of him the other day. He was like, listen, y'all. He goes, when it comes to KD and LeBron, yes, I'm trash. When it comes to you, I'll destroy you. And I was like, this is crazy, but that's real talk, right? So he was talking about his boy who ended up getting like 2-3 contracts, could play. And then the guy's name was Troy Hudson. I remember playing with him on 2K and shit, like real nigga. And he was like, if once he got the contract, the first words out of his mouth was, "I don't got to practice no more." And my first knee-jerk reaction is like, what? And he was like, you have to understand, and this is where I got some game from him. He goes, you have that drive. Right. Some niggas was getting that to get out the hood, or their mama had to eat, or like this, like, you know what? So they don't necessarily love this game. They got good at it because they in the hood, get it out the mud.
Damn, I never thought about that.
Right. So, and he was like, so once they got the contract, they didn't give a fuck. And fuck you. Like, and I was like, listen, at the end of the day, when you're going to call him not successful, and I'm sitting here broke. So it's like, but to me, soon as the way I look at my life, let somebody give me $100 and something million or whatever big contract, I feel like I got to go harder. Yeah. I'm on that Kobe shit, that mama mentality. Yeah. I really feel it because I was like, oh, I felt bad for, like, I felt bad. I'm like, he said that? I would argue I would want to practice more. Yeah. Because what the next contract could be.
More vicious.
Wait, they pay me. I might be a Hall of Famer. I don't know. That's the way my brain goes.
See, it's not, right. Like, it's not, you don't have that same background. And it's not just about the money for you. You want a product. Nigga, we done argued about, oh, man, I don't want to put this out because I don't like how this letter look or how this sit. No one's going to notice that but you. Put that out. You be like, yeah, but nah, I can't do it. I respect that.
I can't.
Because of him, y'all got top-notch quality. If it was me by myself, so I'm playing. No, that's why I mess with this dude. Because, yeah.
And I'm telling you, I'm so nitpicky with that shit. Yeah, for sure. And sometimes I'll be on one shirt, and it probably not, logically speaking, as far as just being efficient with time, it's probably not the most efficient way to spend 35 minutes, like, inching this motherfucker away, when no one's ever said anything. But then the way my crazy brain
that's
works.
Probably why. That 35 minutes you spend on that shirt is why ain't nobody said that.
Right, but my crazy brain goes to this. It says, maybe they're not saying nothing because they fuck with you and then, you an up-and-coming business, so they going to let shit slide. I don't know. My brain goes there, which I could argue is dope. But I also have to, like, you can't be analysis paralysis.
Right. It's cool to have that for your own checks and balances, but don't let it just, like, don't overthink it.
Yeah, right.
And let it stop you from creating. I know someone that does that. They create. I can't even really say too much because they're going to know who I'm talking about, but they create. And because they're so worried about making it too perfect, they won't put stuff out because they'll do it. They'll have something, and then they're overthinking it. Then they're overthinking. And they'll worry about it, and then not put it out because they're so worried about it.
I'm gonna tell y'all based on that thought, as someone who's been putting out comedy, which is super subjective. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, because this, like, what do I think is funny? He might not think it's funny.
I know you posted something. I was like, damn. CARESNONE. I was like, damn. We'll go ahead.
What are you talking about, like, as far as the video?
Yeah, you posted some video.
So my point is that you're going to have to get over that.
For sure.
Because especially if it's something that's subjective. But it's like, again, that feeling, because I still have those feelings. I'll be like, ooh, I don't know if I should get
I think also for the most part, most people will also think what you're putting out is way better than what you do. Because, like, in your mind, you know it should look like this. And it never does quite. But everyone else will look at it, and they don't know that one thing you want it to be different. So they see it and see just the comedy in it or see just the good in it. You know what I'm saying? Of course you got your critics, but then you got to be like, do they do that? Are they even doing that for them to criticize me?
And sometimes they just be on it.
And just let that go. But, yeah, for the most part, most of the stuff that you put out, other people going to look at it, especially because the energy you put behind it. I'm trying to make y'all laugh. I'm trying to do something positive right now. Most people ain't really going to try to pick apart what you're doing positive unless they just a shitty person.
And you got those, some people just fuck with you, and here's the thing. What might be positive to you ain't positive to necessarily everybody.
Right.
Here's a lesson, which is I'm still battling with, and I'm working on that because, like to me, you would think common sense But then at the end of the day, that's just your common sense. What you think you've labeled what common sense is.
Right.
Who the fuck are you to say what the fuck is you supposed to be? Now, what you can say is, well, most motherfuckers think this way. But even still, who is most motherfuckers?
Right, and I'm not them.
So here's a good example of that. If I see a homeless person on the street or a bum, I say that.
You do like to say that word.
It's a bum on the street. No, we'll do it right. A homeless person, a person lacking the housing. Hey, I've been there too, so I ain't fuck. I lived in my car. I don't give a fuck. But
Same.
But that's what I'm saying. So, but if you give them some dough, like I do a good percentage of giving them niggas money. Maybe not a ton or shit, dollar here and there, da 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 da. I don't always say yes, but I'm more willing to. I see the nigga on, I throw him whatever my little change is. I'll do a little something.
Yeah.
And to me, I would think most people wouldn't be like, oh, okay, that's cool, whatever. I mean, is that a bad act?
To give the money?
Right. In your opinion, is that a bad act to help somebody out?
No. Because you did it from your heart.
From
you
your
did
heart,
it,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right. No one's looking.
There's people that'll give you crap for filming it. And my thing is, like, oh, if you're going to do a good act, don't film it. I think do film it. Because no matter what, to that person, that was a good act. The person you gave to, you helped them out. And all these people seeing it, someone else might be like, that's a good idea to do. And now more people are doing it. So fuck them people who say, don't film it. Like, are y'all even giving money? Or y'all just commenting on my shit, don't film it, and,
Now, what about the motherfucker who does give the money?
What do you mean? Like, who sees what you did and then now they gonna go do it?
No, they were already doing. They say, okay, no, I'm a really.
Look, they're not commenting on that because that person, they mind
they
you.
on some other shit.
Right. They happy that you did it.
Right.
They happy that you did it. They're not.
Right, because anybody hating.
Right. They happy that you did it. Even if, like some videos you could kind of tell it was like, like they did it for the clout or whatnot. And, okay. You never really see none of those people like really blow up and get famous from giving somebody shit. Most people, they be like, oh, look how happy that person is who got. They don't ever be like, oh, look at dude who filmed it and give him a right. So right. And so whatever. They help somebody,
I know. So, but some people will look at this. So to me, if you give, it feels
they say
good.
you enabling them.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Some people say, well, no, you're the fucking part of the
problem.
problem.
But you don't know their story, though. You don't know their story. What if they can't go get it? What if they can't?
Oh, yeah, my point. My point.
You don't know their story, man.
So to go back to the original point is, no matter what the fuck you do,
there's going to be something.
There's going to be something by somebody. There's no such thing as the perfect way. Actually, shout out to my boy Joey Freed, who's also, I told you I put him on too, so it's you and Joey, which is so dope. These are two of my favorite niggas. But he taught me this lesson, and I think I've told him this. It's a great lesson, Joey. He goes, the fastest way to become unhappy is to try to make everyone else happy. Oh, man. I'm like, that's a bar. When I heard that, and it hit at the right time, and I'm like,
oh, shit.
Do you like? I love quotes. Do you like quotes?
Yeah, I repost. I be stealing quotes, reposting quotes all the time.
Oh,
I go in there and put a different filter on it so it look like some new shit.
Let me ask you this: why?
Why do you love quotes?
Why do you love quotes?
Because a lot of times it's telling you, it's reconfirming something you already know. But just to hear it or see it and see someone else believe it too, or hear it the right way. Because what you just said is just like that one dude that you showed me, the rich dude who said, if I leave here and someone likes me, then I didn't do my job. I'm not here to make y'all happy. I'm here to make money. And that's kind of just a different way of what dude was saying. Like, if the quickest way to make yourself unhappy is to try to make everyone else happy. I like it said that way better than if I leave here and someone, but it's like the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, yeah, I love quotes because, it's just a confirmation most of the time of stuff you already know. You just need to see it or hear it in a way, that it's like,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to say this, and I want to be very clear. Full transparency, as the white folks say. Oh, no, they say full disclosure. That's what they say, full disclosure. I like that shit, too.
Hit him with Obama. Let's be clear. Let's be clear here.
All that shit I be talking about, like when you see me in my face and we got to work on this, and this, I promise y'all, I'm talking to me.
Oh, yeah. That's what most people doing. Unless you sending subliminals on, like, to someone through like, I hate when people do this. They're talking to someone directly with a subliminal. Most of the time, the posts you see, the memes you see are something that resonates with you or you can relate to. So you post it as if, you thought of it and, schooling people, but you're talking to yourself. A lot of times I'll put on my note to self and I'll still post it because I feel like if it means something to me, it got to mean something to someone else because I do feel like I'm somebody. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll post something that resonated with me. I'm talking to myself most of the time.
Yeah, and then what I've been learning to do, because I realize there is a community now of motherfuckers trying to, I feel like there is. So now I'll word it a little bit more. Like I try to be like, y'all niggas need to do this. I'd be like, we need to work on this. We out here. We be wilding. Yeah. Here's what I'm deciding to try to do to give it a shot. Am I perfect? No, but this is what's helping me feel better than what I did. I'll learn some new shit, and I'll be like, let me tell y'all, me, if I get some new shit, I want to let y'all know about it. Right. And here's why. I read this from these smart niggas. The fastest way to learn something is to teach it.
Facts. I've had, like, someone, like, talk to me or ask me something, and so I'll give them my feelings about it, and while I'm giving them my feelings about it, I'm learning something. Like, I needed to hear what I'm telling them. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's sometimes, like, God will talk through me. So I'm like telling them what I believe, and as I'm telling them, like I'm like to myself, like
Is it almost like you're affirming it?
Right, either affirming it or it's there. It's been there, but I needed. Yeah, I don't know if it's the same thing, but it needed to hear it again. I needed to be brought back up. Or,
I would think that's affirming.
Like,
right?
Okay, yeah,
like
I guess,
you, like for instance, do you ever go to sleep listening to affirmations?
I tried. I did it one time, because you was doing this. So I did it one time, and. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that it don't work. I think I
mean, there's some science behind like the subconscious mind, right? And I feel like
believe
Inception. You ever seen the movie Inception?
Uh-huh.
I think there's some truth in that shit. We should probably break down that shit because there was a deep ass movie.
We had to watch it again.
Yeah, we had to watch it again.
The whole world was turning sideways.
Yeah,
I was
but that's
like,
just
okay.
that's the
I was getting lost.
But that's the foo shit. But the idea behind it was if you can get to the subconscious. Mm-hmm. That's how you change your identity. That's like what I thought the movie was about. And how do you get down to that layer? Yeah. And a lot of times I feel like, and I'm going to talk for myself, but I would imagine other motherfuckers feel this way at times, is you don't believe in yourself for whatever reason. So we got to find a way, I got to find a ways to get to the subconscious, to train your core to believe it. So, because it's one thing, like, how you going to just say, I'm going to have a BMW, and you ain't have it? Right. So some people will, like, practically say, well, you don't, how? That don't make no sense. Right.
Like, what's your plan? They'll do that to you. What's
right.
your plan?
Or they'll be on that shit. And listen, and then don't get me wrong, I think you still need plans for shit.
For sure.
So I believe that. You definitely. That's why the law of attraction, that movie and shit, it's like, okay, you do have to work.
Right.
But there's also another component of you have to know that it's coming. Yeah. Which I guess is faith. Right, is the same principle as faith. But I'm telling you, I believe, even if I'm not like exactly sure of how to get there, I believe in that affirmation shit because of that story with my grandmother. Because I wrote it and said it and I saw it subconsciously every day for 10 fucking years. Right. Every day it was I saw it. Even if I didn't necessarily see it, because you subconsciously see it, like just
but it passes
it passes you, and then just the vibe in the room.
There's a legit science to that. To just even like some of you might not even read it, but just seeing it over and over. You still
see it.
And over and over.
Kind of like the idea of, all right, take a look at all the blue things. Mm. And then you're like, okay. And then they'd be like, how many red things were there? Oh, yeah. And then you won't know how many red things because you was too focused on the blue ones. Right. But the red things was there.
Yeah, you see them, yeah.
So it's like, the more you say it, and the more, that's why teaching it makes sense, because it's like, okay, that's why as soon as I learn something, I gotta let y'all know, and then I'm gonna keep letting y'all know. And the way I learn again is repetition, personally, right? So the more I gotta do it more. I remember with my ex-girl.
Hold on. Can I take a bathroom break?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I need to. Well, I've been holding that bad boy.
I'll keep talking to the audience. This nigga broke his phone. Where the weed at, nigga? Where the weed at?
Oh man, go ahead.
This nigga, we going. Hey, we gonna break a record. Fuck it. Come on. Yeah. So, hey, y'all. I fucks with this nigga big time. He, as I'm rolling up the weed, he is such, I feel like we vibe when we talk. It's always a good conversation. and we just and it just be some energy, and we both be just spitting what I believe to be wisdom. And listen, who the fuck are we at the end of the day? But that's what that whole mastermind is, shit, y'all. You got to surround yourself with people that are on that same wavelength. You know, because I heard this quote, and I think I might say it on the podcast. And I'm high. Say what I want to say. But I heard a quote that said, actually, I know for a fact I said this shit the last podcast with Marty. Shout out to Marty. He said, if you change your conversation, you change your compensation. And it makes sense, y'all. It makes sense because if you just talking about Gossip Girl or Bad Girls Club or all that dumb shit, then how is that helping you in your life? Literally, think about that. How the fuck is watching? Now, mind you, I like basketball. I love LeBron. I think everybody on the earth know that. But at the end of the day, as much as I love LeBron, what the fuck is he doing for me in the betterment of my life? I guess you could say he entertains me. But I don't think I don't think being entertained is necessarily the greatest thing on earth. One, you can entertain your goddamn self, but two, it depends on how much entertainment too. I think there's a time and place to have, to enjoy your life because it is short. But if you're on the path of trying to better yourself, what the fuck? What is too much entertainment? You have to stay away from that shit and put that work in. You got to put that fucking work in. Where the fuck is this? This nigga took the lighter. Hey T, where the lighter at? Behind the laptop. Oh, I got you. All right, I got the lighter, y'all. I'm about to toke up. How many of you niggas smoke? I know ever since I started drinking, I smoke now. Yeah, I was telling them about hold on, you good? Hold on, let me get this little. Oh, man. That's the best part about it. It's getting a little hot in here now.
Holding that bad boy in for a minute.
You hot? You warm?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm good, bro.
Because I turned the AC off because you can hear it sometimes.
Big brothers. See, big brothers being here warm.
Wait. First of all, facts. But you don't feel the temperature, nigga.
I'm cool.
No, you cool, but does it feel warmer than if it was like Antarctica?
I mean, it's comfortable in here. Yeah, and I'm not cold. If it was cold, I would have told you.
Wait. Oh, you're comfortable?
I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable, y'all.
But you don't fuck with the AC like that, though, do you?
Nah, not too vicious. I'm Wakanda forever. I like it hot.
I want this shit cold.
Hey, when I'm cold, I get cranky.
What? Is that even when you sleep, you like it hot?
Not hot, but not cold for sure.
You know what I like? Here's what I like. I like cold as fuck. I want it cold as fuck with a nice big warm ass blanket. I think that's me.
What's messed up is no matter how hot it is, I still gotta have a blanket.
So you could be in Africa.
I need some covering me. I can't sleep.
Oh, so you can do a sheet? Yeah, I think that I agree. It's so hard to sleep without something covering you. I wonder what that is. You know what? I wonder what that is.
She keep the boogeyman off you.
It do, and like in your feet. Don't you make sure your feet underneath?
Feet gotta be covered.
What if your feet out? You feel like you gonna get got?
Some gonna snatch you from up under the bed.
Wait, hold on.
Some snatch you from
up
under the bed.
Why do people need sheets? Let's see this here.
According to Casper, top sheets keep your comforter clean. The purpose of a top sheet is to create a barrier between you and your comforter while you're sleeping. This is handy because studies show bed sheets are the perfect breeding grounds for bacteria.
In fact,
I'm about to go home and wash my sheets.
Hold on. That's fucked up. In fact, 47 species of fungi have been found on used bed sheets.
Oh me, oh my.
oh, dirt she having that. Hey, you bust them 4 nuts. They did 4 different nuts. Been there for 2 weeks.
Like we sleeping on used wet wipes or something. Damn.
No, think about like like a real hoarder, like the ones on TV. Like what y'all on?
That mess crazy, bro.
But I heard that they don't want to let shit go.
Yeah. That scares me.
Oh man, right? That's a motherfucker. I feel like the more I get away from attachment of shit, the better it comes. Being too attached to the outcomes of shit, will fuck anything. You up.
To anything. I met this. It was like a yogi person. I went and did this. It was like gong therapy.
Oh, I've done that. The gong, that's just dope.
You lay, and she was explaining how she tried not to be too attached to anything because that way you can't really be bought. Like if you're so used to being happy, someone could take away your happiness and sell it back to you. If you're so used to being sad, someone could try to sell you happiness, and now they find ways of buying you. So she tried not to be too excited about nothing or too like let nothing get her too down, and just she's like, but it's the everyday thing. It's like she's like, I'm human, so I for sure getting my feelings,
But she tries to check it,
and I was like, you hear things like that with like warriors or ninjas, like you can't fight with emotion. Like you have to be able to let go and to truly not be attached to nothing or expecting of anything is what makes you that great of a warrior, because you're not going to get angry at what's going on in that situation, or you're not going to be expecting them to do this move and they do this. You're kind of just able to flow with what's going on with life because you're just not, but that's got to be a vicious practice, especially when it becomes physical.
Well, let me ask you this then. Let's get deep, nigga. Let's get deep. Is emotion a good or a bad thing? That's a good question.
The timing is everything. It depends on when.
So it's not. Yeah. Or how about this? You saying it's not inherently good or bad? So like, there's moments where it can be bad. There's moments where it can be good.
Right. It depends on.
Give me a moment where emotions are good.
To feel. I mean, when you feel like that overwhelming feeling that's about to make you cry from something, like some kind of love that you're either exposed to, and I mean like it's happening to you, or you gave to someone else, or you're seeing it, like like watching those videos where a soldier come home and you see the kids and the family, or the dog go crazy because they you start feeling them feeling like that. I appreciate those feelings.
I just posted something yesterday or this morning. A dude was on an airplane. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he wrote the book.
And he wrote the book, and he was special needs. Yeah. And then the dude was giving him shit, and he was like judging it. And the whole idea was don't judge a book by its cover, right? Because then dude who was special needs, so he's a little bit different, obviously, because he's dealing with that. And this dude was obviously, thought he was some snobby. He thought he was better for whatever reason. And then he was even worse because the guy had special needs. So then the guy asked him, so tell me about this book about, was it physics or some crazy topic? And the guy's like, very arrogantly was like, first of all, what would you know about this? You don't waste your time. You know nothing about this. And then dude was about to say, actually, and then some shit happened. Right. Come to find out, so they move. The dude starts snapping to the stewardess, like, I need to get out of here. This is bullshit. Get me away. Then she goes, I'll go talk to the captain. Captain comes back and goes, we have good news. We're going to move you to your seat. We're going to move you to first class.
First class, right.
And then homie, the asshole, got up and was like, thank you. About time y'all niggas got it right. Yeah.
Rectify this.
You see this motherfucker, da-da-da. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I wasn't clear, but it was for homie, not you. And he's like, what? He goes, will you come up here? And he was like, oh, he was like, yeah, I'll go. And it was like a good feeling, right? Yeah. And then there's a lot of lessons in this. So then he said, right before the special needs guy left to the front, he turned to the dude who was reading the asshole. It was like, oh, and by the way, that book gets better in the next couple of chapters. Trust me. And then dude was like, the fuck do you know about this? And then the special needs dude was like, well, my name is William Ted or whatever the guy's name was. I wrote the book. Yeah. And then dude looked at the back where the faces be and was like, and looked up and was like, oh shit. Yeah. So the big lesson is don't judge a book by its cover.
Or if you write books like that, riding first class so you don't have to deal with people that act like that. It'd be people that can't afford that type of stuff that be angry. No,
it's real talk. It'd be hated.
It'd be right.
Like
people
that.
that's not happy with their own shit. But no, I've seen people with money that's just not happy. And
no, because they probably think they need more money. Or they get unhappy.
I think when you got money, like I think it's past that. They're just not happy people because...
Probably because they thought it was in money and it ain't.
Yeah, or something. Yeah. Yeah, bro.
It's in fulfillment.
That must be crazy to me. Like people that like got it and then they like still be out to like fuck other people over, or they just not happy people, or
like what
stuff like that. Like, man, bro, it trips me out.
So that's how you know it ain't about money. Yeah. I got 2 fucking stories about that. And hold on. And that last story with the special needs guy, the lesson that I took from it as well is homie could have acted like an asshole.
Yeah, he didn't. He was cool.
He was cool. He's like, nah, I wrote the book. You know, have a nice. And so it's like, now he has compassion for the fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's the real idiot in this situation? Oh, you are for acting that way. And then dude showed you compassion. You didn't have no self-control. Dude, homie did. Or maybe he didn't even need self-control. He just naturally was a great human. Not like that, right? And so it's like, that's the next level. So that dude was really killing it. Right? So I'm like, that was a lesson I got from that as well. But how I know that like the money ain't about the money. I'm starting to learn that. I'm starting to learn that don't try to get money for the art to having the money. It seems like you want to go for the freedom that money comes with money.
Okay.
So therefore, when you get to a place where you can do what you want to do on this existence, that is when you're good. Aim for that. Don't aim for I need 200 million. I need 100 million or whatever. Get it from being free, because then that'll keep you going.
Keep you wanting.
That'll keep you wanting
to do shit.
Because if you get to 100 million, if that's then you ain't gonna want. You know what I'm saying? So, and I learned that from these 2 lessons. Arian Foster played for you ever heard of Arian Foster, football player?
Was he running back?
Yeah. For the Houston Texans. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Okay.
And he was actually against the Bears. He told this story. He goes, and he got fucked up. Like he like broke something. Like the Bears fucked him up. I was like, that's right, nigga. You don't fuck with the Bears. But Joe Rogan asked him, you just mega star. You made all this money, da da da. And he was like, man, if I'm being honest with you, I would rather have been a scientist. And he was dead serious. He goes, and he was like, I'm telling y'all, all that money and shit, it ain't what y'all think it is. And I keep hearing that from a lot of motherfuckers. And not saying don't go get it. What they saying is like, you might be putting too much emphasis in that concept that you about to do all this craziness and it's not what you think it is.
Or not what you really want to do. Yeah.
Right.
That's why you get like, certain players that you feel like get out the NFL earlier than they should have. In our mind, earlier than they should have. That's where they didn't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know the things that come with it that's not fun, and then, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, like some people, they using that to get out the hood, or using it to get their mama good and all that. Or have just other shit they good at, or what they want to do, like be a scientist, But it's cool when you see them players that do that and then also get into another business that like you could tell it was something they was really good at, like
they was a doctor or some shit.
Right, yeah.
Or an artist or some shit. Yeah. And then another one happened with me personally. How I personally felt this lesson was when I was working at that damn restaurant when the pandemic hit, and I was making solid ass money here, really good money, like for real. I was miserable as shit, fucking out of my mind, miserable. I'm like, I just really couldn't be there. The energy was, and mind you, I have a lot of it, so I can actually take it, and that's coming from me. I'm like, this place is draining. I'm like, this. I feel, and I know people feel that way about their job, because I know how I felt. And then a lot of people stay in the situation because of money.
Yeah, security.
They're like, oh, well, what'll happen? Again, scarcity mindset. Yeah. But then I'm like, oh, what would happen if I quit now? Da, da, da. And then like you live to your means, so now you feel like you're really stuck, because now if you don't make that, you're fucked. Yeah. Instead of what most people do, they make more money, they go spend more money.
Right.
It seems like all these smart niggas that I'm following, they say when you make more money, you still make you still make old money. As a matter of fact, you make less because a lot of that money is going to go back into the business to make you more in the long run.
Right.
We always, when we start making money, we go buy toys because we reward ourselves for working so hard. But the real boss shit, the real killers all say, you got to live under your means. Yeah. You got to live it. You have to get it out the mud. So they be saying it as a joke. It's like, no, that's the way to do it. Yeah. That's the way to get there is to stop doing these things that you know aren't. And it's not even just finance. It could be anything, whether it be too much drugs or maybe it's girls or whatever your issue is. If you keep doing it, it's gonna fuck you up. You can't do that for a while.
Right, you gotta stop doing it. Right,
you're gonna have to feel that. Yeah. And that's where again to the resistance. Because you're going to want to continue to do those drugs. You're going to want to continue to eat all the crazy burgers every time you go out. So it's like you're going to have to eat that and feel that a little bit, unfortunately.
Just to make yourself a little bit better.
But everybody say you got to go through those things.
You got to sacrifice those things.
And that sacrifice is tough.
Yeah.
That sacrifice is tough. But, well, tell niggas where they can find you, man. And talk about that, because where do you think we at?
Shit.
Make a guess.
About hour 45?
Hour 59.
Okay. That's close.
Two. Well, take off like 2-3 minutes because you was gone.
Okay. Yeah, man, they can find me at the Body Shop Gymnasium in Palatine. Yeah, Body Shop Gymnasium, Palatine. Go to bodyshopgymnasium.com. Come check us out on the grand opening, July 17th, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. It's a Saturday. Come to Palatine. We're going to have DJs and dancing and photo booths and magicians and insurance companies. We got a divorce lawyer there if you're trying to break your whole shit up. We got a massage therapist. We got CARESNONE. We got the CARESNONE brand, man. We got CARESNONE Chris himself. He gonna be there. What else? We got a lot of things going on up there. We got my mama selling her soaps. She's selling organic soaps up there. Come check it out. I don't want to forget nobody. What else we got? Oh man, I got an awesome friend, man. We was having trouble finding food for the event, and a photographer I know that I'm cool with. We close. His sister hit me up. I was like, I'm pretty sure you got the food taken care of, but next time, I would love to be part of anything you got going on like this. I called her right away. Like, hey, I was like, I've been having trouble with it, and I want to have something where we have all kind of choices, healthy and unhealthy choices, because I got to preach it how I live. I don't eat healthy all day, every day. But I do make healthy choices when I feel it's best. So she went from hooking us up with 3 platters of stuff to 5 platters of stuff, and so mad love, yeah, mad love. So yeah, come check us out. Come check out all the different vendors we got. Come check out the gym. Come get a workout, man. You can catch me also on Snapchat at My Neon Ninja, Instagram under My Neon Ninja. Actually, no, my Snapchat is T-Snapped. Snapchat is T-Snap. Hey, that damn Hennessy. The Snapchat is T-Snap. Instagram, My Neon Ninja. Facebook, Tavares Chambliss or Neon Ninja. TikTok, Tavares Chambliss.
All right, as y'all know, y'all can find me at CARESNONE.com.
Oh, yeah, you can find me there, too.
That's right, motherfucker. I'm about to do a show about to do...
Ambassador.
Yeah. You get CARESNONE.com, which has links to all kind of stuff. Check that out. I want to say thank you again, like I'm going to say every goddamn episode, because it would just be fitting to thank the CARESNONE Nation for being part of the CARESNONE Nation on a podcast called CARESNONE Be Dope.
Yeah.
So and I mean that, y'all. I swear to God, I mean that.
I like this. It's new. I ain't seen this one.
Yeah.
All right.
And these the LeBrons that are. You ever seen these? You ever know why I got them? Somebody gave it to me as a gift.
Okay, that's love right there.
And now there's only 7 letters, so they couldn't get the Cares, but
right.
I
So
knew
CARESNONE in there. That's dope.
And they know that. How dope is it? I'm like, they got to go off here.
That's fresh.
I'm never going to wear these bitches, ever.
Anyway,
so I want to say thank y'all, man. This shit we be talking on this podcast, the reason, like, again, why I brought Tavares on, because I believe he be on that self-development, introspection.
Hey.
I'm all about surround. Y'all know D-Eric, the co-host. That's what he be on, man. That's what we on over here.
Yeah.
If you ain't on trying to just figure something out in your soul, your core, we don't even want you part of the nation. We want you to wanna, or like, you know, like we want people that are either close or already there, or you killing it. But we trying to be the best version of ourselves over here. I don't know about y'all.
Word. I feel that.
You know, and it's gonna be tough sometimes, but we gonna get through it together though. I really feel that. Yeah. And everybody knows you can hit me up, you hit Tavares, say, man, let's do this. And as always, wait, no.
Hey, let me give one shout out real quick.
Go ahead.
Well, 2 shout outs. Shout out to everybody that believe in me and support what I have going on and CARESNONE and whatnot. But also, most definitely, shout out to Jennifer Banks. That's my business partner at the gym. She was the one who even brought up, like, hey, you should own a gym. And then that talk went from that to
you own a gym,
to her wanting to invest in us owning a gym together. You know what I'm saying? So I thank you for believing in me too. And we really doing this. We really doing it. And we hitting goals. We hit our first month goal in 5 days.
I know.
We hit our second month goal in 1 month. So
and this is the beginning of your blessings.
Yeah. So thank you for believing in me. Peace.
And that was really dope. And you can find me at Chris CARESNONE, IG, Instagram, TikTok. One of these days is going to be LinkedIn. I keep hearing LinkedIn's a thing. I don't know, but it just makes
it. Next level. There's levels to this. Next level.
And as always, CARESNONE, nigga. Ain't that shit